Sports Station. San Diego, it's time to fire it up. From the beaches
what the hell, Ben Woods?
from the gas lamp to North County, no one knows America's finest city like he does.
You can't just punt on a Manny Machado prime year.
He's a fourth-generation San Diegan, born and raised in the heart of this community. Passionate, opinionated, and always bringing you the real talk on your teams, your city, and everything in between.
Braden totally knows his stuff. He's ready for the next step. That guy is good.
Live and local, it's the Braden Surprenant Show.
But I think Braden's one of the up-and-coming young stars in the media game in San Diego.
Now, here's your host, Braden Surprenant.
What's up, San Diego? And a happy Monday to everybody out there in America's finest city. I'm Braden Surprenant. He's Frank Marchese. Braden Surprenant Show off and running from 10 to 2 each and every day on San Diego's number one sports station, 97.3 The Fan. We'll be here the entire week. Thursday's going to be a little bit different because of an earlier game between the Padres and the Giants, plus we have our roundtable. But aside from that, we're here the entire week with Frank and myself. Okay, we're just going to get into it. We're just going to get into what happened over the weekend, how nobody apparently with the Padres heard my speech about burying the Dodgers, and instead they buried themselves. I mean, I have no idea what the Padres were doing all weekend long. I mean, in every facet of the game, they failed. They failed in every way. I thought the lineup construction was a failure. I thought defensively they were a failure. I thought the starting pitching was a failure. I thought the bullpen was a failure. I thought the offensive production was a failure. I thought the base running was a failure. It was all a gigantic failure. That was a series where you could have shown that it was enough of enough. It was enough is enough. We're tired of dealing with the Dodgers. It's time to finally overtake LA. It's finally time to put them in the rearview mirror. We can bury these guys, separate ourselves, and try to win a division. And you know what the Dodgers did? They're like, oh, there's the team we own. Let's just go kick their ass like we've done so many different times. I mean, it was flat out embarrassing. There's no other way to put it. You can't sugarcoat this. And I'm sorry, I disagree with any local media people that say, well, they're only 2 games out, and they're still 4. BS, dude. You had your chance and you blew it. They blew it. They had the opportunity to go out there and finally stick up for their fan base against LA, and they blew it. The players didn't get the job done. The coaching staff didn't get the job done. Collectively, as a group, they didn't get the job done, and I don't know why. They're a way better team than what they showed over the weekend. They have a better manager than they've shown over the weekend. They have a better coaching staff than they've shown over the weekend. They're so much better than this. That's what's frustrating. They're so much better than this. They've been playing great baseball, and they go out there and lay an egg. They see the blue and white, and all of a sudden, it's self-destruction time. The only bright spots of that team over the weekend were the ones that haven't been part of this rivalry, the ones that haven't been part of the Padres organization that could give a rat's ass about the Dodger blue. Those guys performed and kicked ass. Everybody else failed. There's no other way to put it. There's absolutely no other way to put it. And I'm telling you right now, and I don't want the fake positivity. Okay, we've done enough on this show, Frank and I, of defending the team when it's needed to defend. This weekend, you can't defend it. You cannot sugarcoat what happened over the weekend. You just absolutely cannot. Okay, for everybody that says, well, they're only 2.5 games back, it's really a half. It's 2.5 because the Dodgers win the season series. I said it going into the weekend. I said, if you want to beat LA and you want to win the division, you're going to have to take 2 out of 3 in Los Angeles. If you really want to do it, you're going to have to sweep them one time, either at home or in Los Angeles, to try to get the tiebreaker back. But you're already a half game behind. Even if you tie it up, you're going to lose the tiebreaker. And here's where it lays out. This is why I said this was an important series, and you couldn't just lay an egg. The Padres have an easy schedule moving forward. Yes, they do. But the Dodgers have the easiest schedule remaining out of any team in Major League Baseball. They got the Rockies this week. What do you think they're going to do against the Rockies? What do you think they're going to do? They have exercised all their demons, all of the problems, everything that was going majorly wrong for the Los Angeles Dodgers in the last month and a half has been erased by them getting hot against the Padres. The Padres did exactly what you couldn't do. The only thing you couldn't do was let them kick your ass all 3 games and get them hot and confident knowing like, oh, that's the threat? Oh, it's just the Padres. Of course they're not a threat. They've never been a threat. That's the message you sent. You're not a threat. You're a fake threat. That's what it is. It was a fake threat. Oh, look, the Padres have a game lead. You win one of the games. At least you're like tied in the standings. Oh, you're 2 games back now. 2.5 because you lost the season series. Flat out unacceptable performance for the Padres, especially with their fan base. Now, again, in the grand scheme of things, if you want to play the positivity card, they're only 2 games back. They get to play them again this weekend. Let's see them bounce back. You know, that's baseball, all that stuff. They did hit a patch where they played probably their worst baseball they have played in the last 2 months. I will say that. But they did some things that were different. They did some reckless things instead of aggressive. I don't know what they were doing on the base paths. I mean, they just kept banging their head against the wall, trying to steal on Will Smith on Saturday's game. That was being reckless, not aggressive. I don't know what they were doing in terms of the entire not reviewing the Manny Machado steal. I thought Manny was safe. And Mike Schilt in the post goes, well, I didn't get any information in time. I got to be better. I mean, what happened? You have to be better. If you want to win a World Series, you want to think about the division, if you want to make the playoffs, you want to win in the playoffs, you have to be collectively better across the board. From the coaching staff to the players to the replay. I mean, here's big stage, and the Padres couldn't handle the big stage. They couldn't handle it. And if anybody's upset about that, actions speak louder than words. I looked at the results. The results were not great. You kind of battled on Friday. Not really. Kind of battled on Friday. Not really. I mean, the top of your order got shut down. And here's the other thing. I saw, somebody complaining, about, the Padres top of the order didn't do anything. The Dodgers top of the order didn't do anything in that game either. I mean, that was strictly the bottom of the order that killed you against the Dodgers on Friday night. And you should have been able to make some things happen. I mean, the top of the order did not do their job. And then on Saturday was disgusting. I mean, that was a terrible performance. You run into multiple outs against the guy that can't find the zone ever. I mean, he was on your team. You understand he can't find the zone. He is a walk machine that loads up on pitches, and you gave him 3 free outs. And when it was happening, I was, okay, I don't mind being a little bit of aggressive here, but you got Tatis thrown out, you got Machado thrown out, then you got Bogarts thrown out. You out-hit him all weekend. That's the other thing. You out-hit him all weekend long. So you get to Saturday's game. I mean, Friday's game again. I mean, that's so far in the rearview mirror they just couldn't get any hits when it mattered. You get to Saturday's game, and Saturday's game was an ultimate debacle. I mean, you had guys that never make mistakes that made those mistakes. I mean, Jackson Merrill in the outfield, when have we ever seen that? Ever. I mean, when have we ever seen that? I mean, it's almost mind-boggling watching this team and what they turn into against Los Angeles since last postseason. I mean, it's head-scratching. We have a miscommunication in the outfield with Jackson Merrill and Fernando, and then last second it handcuffs Jackson for a base hit. Or really an error, but you know what I mean. I mean, unbelievable. Dylan Cease, back to the Dylan Cease that we've seen all year long. I mean, what are we doing? The Dodgers had 5 runs and got 1 stinking hit. 1 hit. 5 runs, 1 hit. That was it. Just 1 hit to get the 5 runs that they needed. And who did all the damage on Saturday? Michael Conforto. Michael Conforto couldn't hit water if he fell out of a boat this season. The guy's been awful. Looked pretty good against the Padres. You had walks, you had errors, you had the bottom of their order getting hits. I mean, Freeland looked like an all-star Gold Glove third baseman this weekend. I mean, you had everything that went wrong over the weekend. I mean, everything. You didn't catch a break. You didn't create any breaks for yourself. It was just flat out a terrible performance when you absolutely needed a good one. When you absolutely needed a good performance, you didn't get it done. I don't know what the mental block is with the Padres going against LA. They are flat out right now. They have been playing way better than LA. And I will say this. Again, there's nothing really too much to be positive about. You got your ass kicked by the Dodgers all weekend long. The only good thing about it is you get to play them again for 3 games this week, and you're hoping that you can match what LA does against the Rockies, because LA's got Colorado. They're going to destroy Colorado. So you better match what the Dodgers do against Colorado, or you're going to find yourself 3 or 4 games back against LA this weekend. And then you really need to sweep them. I mean, it was terrible. I mean, there's so many different ways you could go about it. Again, you go to the bullpen. I mean, Jeremiah Estrada continues to struggle against Los Angeles. Every time that you climbed back, like Friday night, gave up a bomb to Teoscar Hernandez. Teoscar Hernandez put it out of reach on Saturday night. And then again yesterday, you finally saw some spark out of the team. You finally got to see a little bit more out of the lineup. And you're like, too little, too late, first of all. But it's like, okay, they can flip this into a positive. They came all the way back. And I like the way they came back a little bit. That was nice. It would have been nice to do that the other 2 games. But that was nice. And then, what's going on with the Robert Suarez in the 8th inning thing? I mean, I don't get it. You say he's your closer. And so you put him, I guess you're putting him in against the top half of their order? Robert Suarez comes in the 8th instead of the 9th, serves up a bomb. He's got 2 pitches. Mookie Betts put it over the seats. Bang, deflating. Let's go home. Let's get out of here. I mean, there's no way to sugarcoat this. You needed that series if you wanted the division. And that's why it's so upsetting. Is this affecting them making the playoffs? No, they're going to make the playoffs. Okay, they're going to make the playoffs. But for a lot of fans that wanted to see the Padres win the division, they needed to at least win 1 game over the weekend. They failed to do so. So again, you can make excuses for the team as much as you want. You could say everything about like, well, they're 2 games back, everything like that. That's fine. But you have to understand the reality of the situation. That is the reality of the situation. You had an opportunity to finally throw a haymaker on the team that has absolutely dominated the division for the last 11 years. You had a chance to throw a haymaker, and you messed it up. It would have been different if you lost games on like a walk-off or everything was close. I mean, it was not close. And Saturday's game was the absolute worst. But I like the way that Ramon Laureano played. Ramon Laureano's a dog, dude. That guy is good. That guy, no problems whatsoever. That guy came out and performed. Ryan O'Hearn, Gavin Sheets. I don't know why they didn't start in in the earlier games, but they both performed when they got called upon. Love to see that. But the Dodgers outplayed you all weekend long. You got to find a way to beat them. They're in the path. They're in your path. You had a chance to potentially get yourself in a spot to win a division. Instead, you have to find a way to overcome what that mental block is. Because it looks mental right now. I mean, look at some of the plays. They're uncharacteristic. They're uncharacteristic from top to bottom with the team. I don't know what happened this weekend. But I'm going to tell you right now, that's not the Padres baseball that we've seen the last month. It's just not. And that's not to say they can't go back to that, but you got to flip it real quick against San Francisco. And we'll talk more about that. 833-288-0973, 833-288-0973. Fired up on a Monday. Padres need to play better. They need to play. They needed to have a better performance than that. What do you think? We'll talk about it when we return on the Braden Surprenant Show. Standing as number one sports station, 97.3 The Fan. This hour 97 to the fans brought to you by U.S. Wellness Meats. Overwhelmed by processed foods, U.S. Wellness Meats offers an all-natural alternative, 100% grass-fed beef, pork, poultry, wild-caught seafood, and more shipped for free from family farms. Get 20% off your first order at uswellnessmeats.com. Well, we're off and running, Frank.
Are we? Haven't noticed. Have not noticed.
Oh, man. It was a frustrating week.
No kidding, huh?
Especially
after all the pump up we gave on Friday, and just completely deflated instantly.
It's a deflating series for a fan base. And here's the thing, for the players, it matters to them and they care. I'm not going to say it doesn't, but to the fans, it matters a little bit more because of the people they have to deal with at the stadium, online. I mean, Dodger fans are so obnoxious as it is. They don't deserve the team that they have.
No.
For their arrogance, for really not doing anything, but just their team happens to spend a ton of money and are really good. And so for Padres fans, it's even more deflating because now they got to just eat crap some more. Just continue to eat crap when you get a performance like that. I mean, that was unfortunate. It was such a San Diego sports performance that you would hate to see.
The Padres proved this weekend. The only thing that they proved this weekend was that there is still one team they need to beat before they get past the Dodgers, and that's themselves.
Yeah, 100%.
They have to get out of their own way before they can focus on LA. And it just, again, that was all this weekend was, as you mentioned. When was the last time we saw Jackson Merrill drop a ball in center field?
Never. Ever.
I mean, he was waiting on, all he was doing was waiting on gravity. He was waiting on that ball to come down, and he dropped it. What was that? You never see that out of him. Some of the decisions that Mike Schilt made over the weekend, so much for it being just another series. This team looked like it was trying to play up to their opponent instead of just playing their game.
When you play tight, you don't play well. I've seen that so many different times. It's at all levels and all different sports. I mean, you have to be able to mentally relax and go out and play. And they haven't done that in the 3 series against the Dodgers this season. They haven't done it. They haven't done it since they had the lead in the series in the postseason last year and went 24 straight shutout innings. And you know what? All it's doing is giving the Dodgers more confidence that they can go out there and play with some swag, which is so much easier to do than it is when you're playing afraid or nervous, or we got to get this job done. It needs to be a mental clarity. And here's the thing.
You saw the difference on the field with that, because all the guys, Manny, Arise, Cronenworth, Bogarts even, that have been here for some time, all spit the bit. Guys like Laureano, O'Hearn, guys that have not been here.
Even Gavin Sheets, who was just here for this year.
Yeah, even Gavin Sheets.
Freddie Fermin.
All played loose, all succeeded this week.
Yeah.
Those are the only ones.
Right.
You saw it in just the lineup. Who has the mental block against his team and who doesn't?
Very, very mental weekend. And sometimes you can overhype the deal. And here's the thing. Us hyping it up on the radio has no impact on them. They have to be able to do it themselves. They have to stay calm in the moment and understand it's just like they have to treat it like any other series. And I think they got a little bit overhyped. I think they got it a little bit too intense with a lot of things. And I think it was everybody. It's not just like 1 or 2 guys. I mean, I don't understand the decision-making on some of the plays that happened. Obviously, Mike Schultz trying to roll the dice came up empty.
When was the last time you saw the Padres make some of the stolen base calls, some of the pitching decisions that they have made this year that you saw this weekend?
Yeah. I haven't seen it.
They did not play their game at all. They tried to play a game to out 5D chess LA, and they out 5D chessed themselves.
Yeah,
as you usually do when you try to do something like that. You're 2-8 against them in the regular season. I went back and looked. You are 97 and 174 against the Dodgers since 2010. In that time, you have 2 season series wins. Last year, and I think it was 2011. 97 and 174. They are so in their own heads when it comes to playing this team. It is unbelievable. that you just start playing a completely different brand of baseball. And all you have at the end of that game is Mike Shildt in the postgame presser saying, well, series didn't go the way we wanted it to. Tonight's game didn't go the way we wanted to. Really? I didn't notice. Come on.
I know, but I'll say with Mike Shildt, as a coach, you don't want to just blow up in a.
No, and that's fair.
And who knows what he said behind the scenes?
And that's fair. But again, you have to show some accountability. We made some mistakes. We outplayed ourselves. We're going to get it right. We're going to get better. You can't just go, well, that didn't turn out how we wanted it to.
In baseball, you can. In football, you can't. In baseball, you can. Because in baseball's about we'll get them tomorrow. I mean, that's the attitude you have to have in baseball. I mean,
it has to be tonight.
You have to do that. So Mike Shildt, as much as a lot of people probably didn't like his post-game press conferences after a tough weekend, this isn't the National Football League. This is not football. He doesn't have to, you don't have to sit on it for an entire week. He's going to be like, you know what? Screw it. We got to get ready for the next day. That's the mentality you have to have. And we don't know what he's saying behind the scenes. And here's the other thing too, with professionals, they know they played bad.
Oh yeah.
They don't need a manager screaming at them.
But it's nice.
They understand.
It's nice to have the spokesperson for the team take at least some form of accountability instead of just, we got another game tomorrow that we got to focus on. Sometimes you need to hear that.
Well,
from a manager.
It would be nice, but in this day and age of sports, you're not going to see too many managers doing that anymore.
You need to see. I'm not saying you should have done it after the second series in June. You knew how big this series was. You knew how important this series was. You need to show at least some sort of acknowledgement of that to the media instead of, we tried. That doesn't go far.
It's not going to go very well for a lot of people. That's why more fans are upset today than probably they would have been. But they needed to play way better. And here's the thing. It's upsetting because of the team that they expect to be, the team that they are, the team that they say that they are. You have to be able to win those series.
Yes.
Not only that, you have to be able to salvage those series. You have to be able to perform a lot better than they performed. It looked like they were playing scared the entire time. And that's it, from the decision-making, from the defensive plays to that was the closest thing you were going to get to October baseball. They need to be able to perform higher than that. So here's the deal. As frustrating as it is, and it's very frustrating, it's unacceptable, they have to use this as a learning experience and flip it very quickly against San Francisco. And then we'll see what they do against LA this weekend. I mean, if they lose 2 out of 3 to LA again this weekend, I'm sorry. I mean, it's going to be tough sledding for the remainder of the year, hoping that LA stubs their toe. But again, you're going to have to get through them eventually if you want to win a World Series. You're going to have to beat them in a series. And the further you get away from 2022 and the less amount of success you've had against them, the more 2022 starts to seem like, oh, maybe that was just kind of things worked out in our favor. We got to take a break. When we come back, we'll get to your phone calls. We got full phone lines right now, 833-288-0973, 833-288-0973. Braden Surprenant Show rolls on. Tune into the Manager's Report with Mike Schilt this Friday at 9 a.m. on Bennett Woods. Oh, that should be fun. Manager's Report is refreshed by EcoWater SoCal. Try alkaline water for just $9.95 a month. EcoWater SoCal, keeping it soft since 1925. He's Frank Marchese. I'm Braden Surprenant. It's a tough weekend. Let it out. We're here to let you let it out. We're going to get to the phone calls in a second, but Frank has a grip of reality ready to go for this next segment.
It's not even just a grip of reality. And I'm seeing it in the chat. I'm seeing a bunch of you guys on Twitter, and that was driving me more crazy than the doomers last night. Yes, the reality is you're still 2 games out of the division. Reality is you're still 3 games above the cut line in the playoffs. That doesn't change. You are still in control of your own destiny in the playoffs. However, that does not mean that you cannot hold this team accountable for what was just an unmitigated disaster that was this weekend.
It was a disaster of a weekend.
And that was the first 2 segments here, was holding this team accountable. Something that so many of you listening and reacting on social media say that we don't do often enough. And then when we do it, we're labeled as doomers. No. This is holding the team accountable for going into Los Angeles in the biggest series of the season and just completely rolling over to a team that was coming in on the back foot, to a team that that was ripe for the picking, and you didn't do it. That's all the first two segments were. It's not dooming. It's looking at reality. Just because you still sit second in the division, 2 games out, you're still within striking distance. Just because you still sit 3 games inside the wild card does not mean that negates everything that happened this weekend. Period. It doesn't.
No, they're still well within a playoff spot, as mentioned before. I mean, this is reality, right? The reality is the dream of the division is getting a little bit more, and I should say a lot more difficult, because now you have to rely on the Dodgers who are now hot, get beat by the Rockies, which is not going to happen. I mean, the Rockies can't even win 30-something games. I mean, they're 35-89. And the Dodgers get the Rockies all week in Colorado. Is it in Colorado? It might be in Colorado.
Let me see here. I have it on the sheet.
Does it really matter? Yeah, it's in Colorado.
It is in Colorado.
So they got Colorado, and then they got the Pods, and then they got the Reds, who knows? But they got them at home. Arizona. Then they got Pittsburgh, who stinks. Baltimore stinks. Rockies stink. Giants already quit on the season. Philadelphia for 3. Giants stink. Diamondbacks, Mariners. That's it. I mean, it's not like they're the Reds that have to play this daunting schedule. They're playing the easiest schedule remaining. So it was very important for the Padres to do some damage against LA to help their own cause. So from the perspective of trying to win the division, the reality is that ship is right about ready to leave harbor. Okay, that ship is almost sailed, even though you're 2 games back. Remember, being 2 games back, it's really 2.5. You have to win 3 more series than the Dodgers do going through the rest of the year. So it makes the margin of error that much slimmer. The other thing, again, despite all of that, there's still going to be a playoff team, still in second place at 2 games back. They're still 3 games above the cut line of the wild card. Even though it was a frustrating weekend, as Frank has mentioned, it's not like the season ended today. The season's not over. I mean, there's still a lot to play for, but now it goes from, can the Padres outdo the Dodgers and win the division, to you got to find a way to beat them in 5 games in a playoff series, which is what the goal was at the beginning of the season. Find a way to beat them in 5 games. Unfortunately, right now, you haven't had a lot of success doing that. So we'll see. Rockies have won 5 of the last 6. Maybe they're hot. Maybe the Dodgers get them at the wrong time.
Go Aztec wins chat of the day. I think the shiny object of the division title blinded a lot of Padre fans, just like the Thunderbirds in Chicago and the Meerkat for Frank. Just get to the playoffs.
That's
chat
awesome.
of the day.
So far. Chat of the day so far. Think we need phone calls of the day?
Well, we got a lot of them to get to right now.
All right, let's get to Juan in Oceanside. Juan, you're on the Braden Surprenant Show. What's going on, man? Oh, I got to stop doing that when you do it. Juan, what's up, dude?
Not much. Just, frustrated like everybody else. I'm not one to scrutinize Mike Schilt often because, he definitely knows more than me about baseball. But today, the weekend just felt like a missed opportunity. And for me, the biggest problem was just having Ryan O'Hearn and Gavin Sheets on the bench pretty much the entirety of the series. You put Jose Iglesias in, who has a below 600 OPS. And I feel like if you're going to insist on having Jose Iglesias play at all, I feel like he has to be playing defensively and get someone off their feet like Manny, who's been struggling. So, that's probably my biggest frustration about the whole weekend.
I think that's frustrating too. I don't understand. And Juan, I appreciate the phone call, man. I don't understand. To me, this is how I view Jose Iglesias on this team. tell me if I'm wrong. Look, if you don't want to have O'Hearn or Sheets or, whatever, go against Clayton Kershaw, the crafty lefty on a Friday night, okay, so be it. But after you lose game one, I would rather take my chances with a guy like Ryan O'Hearn than a guy like Jose Iglesias. I know it's the righty-lefty thing. But to me, Jose Iglesias is on this team for his defense and a late bat, which is not even that big of a deal. He's on the team not to be the designated hitter. He's the designated fielder of this team. He can play anywhere in the field, and he does a really good job of that. I don't understand trading for Ryan O'Hearn when you have Gavin Sheets as well to have neither of them be a DH on certain days. I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense to me. I don't understand why Jose Iglesias was a DH twice. And the other thing, okay, I get Jose Iglesias against Clayton Kershaw historically had been really good. So Friday night I understand it. But after that, I don't understand why your designated fielder is your designated hitter for 2 of the 3 games against LA. I don't get it. Am I wrong on what Jose Iglesias' role is on this team?
No, especially at his age. That is exactly his role. If you want to play Jose Iglesias, give Arise the day off of fielding.
Yeah.
Just move Cronenworth over to first. Have Iglesias play second. That's what you do. There is no situation where Jose Iglesias should be the designated hitter on the starting lineup of this team. Period.
How about this guy in the chat saying, don't hype the team up anymore. Okay, dude. What do you want me to do? Just say they suck before every game and then hope they rise to the occasion? Come on, dude. Me hyping the team up on Friday and getting people excited for the series had no impact on this game. They didn't show up this weekend. It's unfortunate. Jason and Encinitas, you're on the Braden Surprenant Show. What's going on, Jason?
Hey, fellas. Just wanted to, talk. Obviously, the weekend was just a hot mess. And, this was really their chance to make a statement, to say that they belong at the table with the big boys and not at the kiddo table, eating corn dogs while the adults are eating a steak. And they just blew it. And, I don't know what it is with this team. As a fan, it drives you nuts. They cannot hit with runners in scoring position. They might as well start sending people up there and have Manny bat left-handed and send Jackson if they're right-handed. They probably have, similar results. And, and finally, I'll just finish with, Dylan Cease. I was happy that they didn't trade him, but what a disaster performance that was. This guy's got great stuff. He obviously doesn't trust his stuff. He's trying to paint the edge with every pitch. And it was just painful to watch him on Saturday. I had to turn it off. It was just so painful. He looked like a guy that was just completely lost out there. And it was totally in his head. He was taking off his cap, running his hand through his hair every pitch. It was just painful to watch. So I just want to get your take on.
Yeah, Jason, it was painful to watch. That performance. And here's what's frustrating. At least let the Dodgers put the ball in play and beat you with their slug. You can't stop a walk. You just made it so easy for him the entire time. You physically cannot stop a walk. There's no defensive plays. You can't stop a walk. You don't even give their team a chance. You can't stop a walk. You got to let the Dodgers get themselves out, or at least give your defense an opportunity to make a play. And Dylan Cease didn't do that over the weekend.
You wonder why you couldn't trade Dylan Cease? This is why you couldn't trade Dylan Cease. Because of performances like Saturday night.
Yeah.
3 1/3, 85 pitches, 1 hit. Good for you. 6 walks. Against a guy.
6 walks is just.
Against a guy who famously almost lost the Cy Young Award because he walked the entire planet. This is exactly why you could not trade Dylan Cease. I don't want him anywhere near a postseason series right now.
I don't either.
I will gladly take Randy Vasquez right now over Dylan Cease in the postseason.
How about this guy in the comments saying that we're finding loophole stats to
loophole stats
to talk about how great the team did this weekend? Brother, have you been listening to our show?
Have you heard a single word we've said?
Probably not. People are crazy. 833-288-0973. 833-288-0973. Victor in Oceanside. You're on the Braden Surprenant Show. What's going on, Victor?
Hey, what's up, Braden? Damn, and not gonna lie, man, definitely feels like a Monday today.
Yeah.
horrible weekend. And I mean, it's funny because I was talking to my coworker on Friday before the series even started. I was like, "Hey, man, well, I'll let you know where I go watch the sweep." And I just never figured it was going to be the Padres who got swept. And I mean, he's a Dodger fan, so he's pretty stoked. And like I told you last week, man, I wasn't concerned about the Dodgers, wasn't worried about the Dodgers at all. I was worried about the Padres because of situations like this. And I mean, it definitely started with Michael King, having him go back to the IL kind of maybe shifted the momentum a little bit. But, before I let you go, I'm going to let you know why I feel like, at least personally, Saturday was a really bad day. I ended up going to TJ to watch the Tijuana Toros play in the playoffs. Very similar situation to the Padres. They got 7 runs scored against them in the first inning with 3 home runs. And they didn't end up winning the game. So they got booted off the playoffs now. And then the Padres are now back in second place. They didn't even neutralize it and, at least tied for first. So, man, what's going on with baseball, man? But, season's not over. It is for the Toros and TJ, but I mean, at least the Padres are still alive, so we'll see what happens, man. They just got to play better.
They got to play better. I agree. And the thing is what's so frustrating is we know they can. It's a very uncharacteristic weekend for that team. A very uncharacteristic weekend for the Padres. They can play better, and I think they will play better, but they got to be able to flip it tonight against the Giants. Victor, I appreciate the phone call, brother.
And that is a very underrated point that Victor brought up coming into this series. Losing Michael King on the day he was supposed to start, that was not a good omen for this weekend. That still should not have affected the offense in any way, shape, or form. And you lost that game 3-2, so it was close. But to lose Michael King right off the jump, that was a rough way to start this weekend.
Very rough. That was kind of deflating before the weekend even started. But I tell you what, I mean, Randy Vasquez did fine. Well, how about Wandy Peralta, great, by the way? Wandy is an opener, did his job. I mean, Randy gave up, he walked some people, which you can't have, but for what he was thrown in to do,
he did the best.
I thought he did fine.
He did the best job he could have done in that scenario.
Unfortunately, gave up a home run to Teoscar Hernandez late. It's not going to help you out. I mean, you got to be able to shut the door. Bullpen didn't do that this weekend. 833-288-0973, 833-288-0973. Steve and Powell, you're on the Braden Surprenant Show. What's going on, Steve?
Hey, wanted to talk about I want to talk about the elephant in the room that nobody wants to seem to talk about. And, I'm an eye test guy. I watch pretty much every game. I've been watching a lot of the games, for years. I think one of the problems is Manny Machado. I think under pressure, he fails. This is not the first time he's done that. And when you have your leader, I consider it being choking over and over again when it's crucial situations. I think that's a concern. He went 1 for 12 in this series. He single-handedly lost the first game. He made a 2-run error and he went 0 for 4. And we've seen it. I've seen it more than once in crucial situations, big series where Manny has choked and not done the job. And anyway, I just wanted to get your opinion on that.
Well, I mean, at least it seems like he hasn't done very well against the Dodgers. He didn't have a good series. I mean, you got to find somebody that gets you out of the problems. And, Manny was unable to do that this weekend.
No, there were a couple of big situations, even going back to last weekend in Boston. I remember Friday night. What was it, in the 7th inning? Bases loaded, strikes out on 4 pitches. Like, you can't do that. Especially, you got to do something.
I don't mind his diving for the ball. Was that Friday?
Yeah, Friday.
I don't mind that. Even though it resulted in runs later, I don't mind that just because if he first of all, that would have been a hell of a play if he catches that ball. If he lets it drop instead and maybe picks it up, do you get out of the inning? Who's to say? I don't mind him going for it there. I mean, it would have been a hell of a catch. And that would have probably ended that inning without any runs. I think it would have been 2 outs, right? If I remember correctly.
So,
yeah. He did not perform over the weekend, but neither did a lot of these guys. This was not a single.
No, it was not
a performance.
Exactly, it was not just Manny's fault.
It was everybody. I mean, it was a team failure over the weekend that needs to be fixed before the next time you play these guys. And it really needs to be fixed tonight against San Francisco. 833-288-0973, 833-288-0973. Kevin in Chula Vista on the Braden Surprenant Show. What's going on, Kevin?
Oh, boy, what a rough weekend that was. First of all, thank you to both of you for saying a lot of the things that I know all of us would say had we had the time and the opportunity to rattle down the list of transgressions here. Thank you for that. Thank you, Frank. You guys are all spot on, and thanks for giving us the opportunity. If you're a cheerleader this week, this is not going to be your week. This was, as you said, Braden, the importance of this series is the World Series goes through Los Angeles. They're the World Series champion. They're the division champion now for God knows how many years. The baseball gods set this up for you, and you emotionally crumbled at the opportunity here. Straight across the board. You pointed out many of the problems here. Dylan Cease looks like a deer in headlights. You've got the manager making decisions. Mike is 23-32 lifetime against the Dodgers, so he's got some work to do, and he needs to quit trying to put lipstick on a pig. I have no respect for when managers come in and pull this constant crap of trying to sugarcoat what we see with our own eyes. It's an insult to us. Now, having said all of that, you want to talk about 800-pound gorillas. Jim Duquette, Jim Bowden this morning on MLB finally got online and agreed with Uncle Kevin here. They've got a starting pitching problem. You've got one starter with a winning record. The other three guys that are out there now, you don't know what you're going to get, when you're going to get it, and if they're going to even keep themselves healthy enough to get it. So you can talk about all we need to do is get to the playoffs. The object of the game, first of all, is to win the damn World Series. I'm tired of this stuff about, what we need to do is get to the playoffs. What are you going to do when you get there with this pitching staff that is now suspect big time? And
well, we got to get to a break soon. And I appreciate the phone call, Kevin. The thing is like, the bullpen is fine. I mean, they're going to make a couple of mistakes here and there. And when you get to playoff baseball, Frank, you're going to go like one time to the order, if that. No, and you're going to piggyback some guys, and then it's bullpen time the rest of the way. So I'm not overly concerned. I mean, the Dodgers won a World Series last year with two starters. They had two guys last year, and one of them stinks this year.
Yeah, but as Kevin said, he is right. You have two guys that Mike Shildt allows to routinely throw over 90 pitches. You have three long relievers in your starting rotation right now. In Vasquez, who we will not allow to throw barely over 70. You won't see Darvish throw over 70 right now because he's starting to work his way back in. I believe he threw like 83 though the other night. But you've got two true, genuine starting pitchers in this rotation right now. Two. That's it.
You don't know what you're going to get out of all of these guys. And then the Michael King thing just sucks. Just immediately. And hopefully he's back sooner rather than later. But that was a kind of a blow to start the weekend. We'll get more of your phone calls. We'll talk more about this. Plus, is Manny clutch? We got to look at some of the stats on that too. Try to defend Manny when we come back.
Hey, it's
$11 I don't like diving into the weeds on clutch and not clutch. I really don't. I mean, like, define clutch. Are we talking high leverage? Are we talking late in the game? Are we talking runners in scoring position? How many outs are we talking? Like, what are we talking about here? If you had to put something together. So, I mean, I put it through, and there's times where Manny is clutch with high leverage. There's times where Manny's not clutch with high leverage. In a Padres uniform, okay? In a Padres uniform. Manny Machado in a Padres uniform. If we're talking with runners in scoring position and high leverage and 2 outs, I mean, is that the most clutch it could possibly be?
That is about as clutch a situation as you need.
Okay, so we're talking in a Padres uniform, high leverage, runners in scoring position, 2 outs. Do we agree like that's a fair? That's as clutch as you could potentially be.
Yeah, that is peak clutchness.
All right. Manny in his career as a Padre, he has, by the way, out of everybody since then, has had the most opportunities for that. He's had 102 plate appearances. Okay. They have, Fangraphs did it and did, relatively, you had to have at least 10 plate appearances. Okay. So Manny's had 102. He's had the most. In those 102 plate appearances, again, with high leverage situation, 2 outs, and runners in scoring position, which is very difficult to do. I mean, okay, so I'm gonna lay that out right now. Manny is hitting 193 with a, hang on, is that right? Yeah. Manny's hitting 193 in that situation with a 343 on base percentage, a 313 slug, and a 656 OPS with a 72 WRC plus. His BABIP is 246.
And that's all time in a Padre uniform from 2019.
In a Padres uniform from 2019 to now. High leverage, 2 outs, runners in scoring position. That is your numbers. The current Padre that has the best, Gavin Sheets. At 11 plate, he's only had 11 plate appearances. Manny's had 102. In 11 plate appearances for Gavin Sheets, he's hit 444 with a 545 on base, a 556 slug, 1101 OPS, and has a 219 WRC plus. That's all time in a Padres uniform. Do you want to just do Manny this season? Frank?
One more time, I'm sorry.
You want to just have Manny stats for this season?
Yeah, go for it.
All right. There hasn't been a lot of these situations. I would imagine these numbers aren't very good for a lot of people. It's messed it up. It has like all time on there because it didn't go from the beginning. All right, give me a second while I refresh this. Again, I can handpick stats all the time. It doesn't really do anything for anybody. Right? Just handpicking some of this stuff. All right, this season, with a minimum of at least 10 plate appearances, high leverage, runners in scoring position, 2 outs, your best performer so far this year is Jackson Merrill. He's been up 13 times. He's got a 444 average with 1171 OPS, 243 WRC plus. Fernando Tatis Jr. has had it 13 times. He's hitting 333 with a 1359 OPS with a 239 WRC plus. Then it's Gavin Sheets hitting 444. with an 1101 OPS and a 219 WRC plus. Then it's Luis Arraez with 22 plate appearances in the spot, 316 average, 778 OPS. Jose Iglesias is better. And then it's Manny Machado. Manny's had 20 plate appearances this year in high leverage with runners in scoring position and 2 outs. And he's batting 250 with a 250 on base, a 400 slug, a 650 OPS, and a 78 WRC plus. I mean, so for people that have recency bias, right? It would seem like he would not be clutch in those situations. Correct?
Yeah, I'd say that's fair.
Now, you eliminate the 2 outs. You eliminate the 2 outs, and it's just any time this season. It's actually worse for Manny. So this season, he's actually the worst performer in high leverage with runners in scoring position this season for the Padres. You want to hear these numbers?
I would love to.
Okay, so this season, high leverage runners in scoring position for the Padres. This would be clutch, correct?
Yes.
Are we missing something here? Again, I'm just presenting the data. You can do what you want. And again, this is 2 people were arguing about this online. I don't really care. Okay? Manny's on this team for a long time. Manny's not the problem of this team. He's not. He didn't play very well this weekend. But he has had the second most plate appearances. I mean, Xander has been terrible in this situation, correct?
Yeah.
He's been terrible. Everybody talks about how terrible Xander's been in this situation. And he has. Xander has had 52 plate appearances, high leverage runners in scoring position. He's hitting a $150 with a 577 OPS, a 68 WRC plus. That is Xander Bogaerts this year. He has a higher WRC plus than Manny. Manny Machado in 47 plate appearances in high leverage with runners in scoring position just in 2025. You ready for this, Frank?
Go for it.
Manny is hitting a $154 with a 213 on base, a 256 slug, a 469 OPS, a 200 batting average on balls in play, and his WRC plus is 21. Again, take that for what it's worth. Manny is not the reason they lost this weekend. Collectively as a team, they were terrible. He needed to play better just like everybody else. But this whole clutch thing, this is why, and this is just this year, this is why we had people call in and say Manny's not clutch. Those are hard situations. Who's your best player? Luis Arraez, surprisingly enough. So far this year, Arraez in high leverage situations with runners in scoring position, doesn't matter how many outs. 361 batting average with an 831 OPS. He's got a 144 WRC plus. Maybe we should move Arraez to clean up. Tatis, your second best player. And he's hitting 222, but his WRC plus is 139. 517 on base percentage, 333 slug, 851 OPS. He probably just because he walks a lot. Fernando's walk rate with high leverage and runners in scoring position is almost 40%. That's incredible. People want to know why Fernando's not hitting home runs. He's getting walked all the time. Everybody wants to say, well, Fernando's not hitting all these home runs. Therefore, it's because he's not juicing anymore. Guy's getting walked 40% of the time in high leverage situations with runners in scoring position. He's not swinging out of his shoes. I don't mind that. Gavin Sheets, third best on the list. He's got an 869 OPS, a 136 WRC plus. Jackson Merrill's done well with high leverage and runners in scoring position. But there it is. I mean, there's your numbers.
And again,
take that information for what you want.
And again, Trav Gundy in the chat, it's not being a doomer.
I'm just saying stats.
This is acknowledging reality and holding the team and players accountable. There's a difference between dooming. Being a doomer is taking 2 out of 3 this series and then complaining that they didn't win by enough. That's being a doomer. That's being a doomer.
Being a doomer is taking 2 out of 3 when you walk it off twice, going well, we got, or if there was a home game, well, we got lucky in those 2 games. We're lucky to win 2 out of 3. That's being a doomer.
This is just acknowledging reality. Is all this is.
Yeah, I'm done with the steroid thing with Tatis. It's such a tired argument. But that's how it is this season. Now, in terms of like overall, again with Manny Machado, like he hasn't been. This doesn't need to be a knock on Manny, okay? But if you want to look at 2019 through 2025, high leverage runners in scoring position, don't worry about the outs. Manny's getting a little bit better. Machado is there. He is. He's hitting 243, 347 on base, 416 slug, a 763 OPS, and he's got a 98 WRC plus. He's okay. He's okay. But I could see why people would say Manny Machado has not been, quote, clutch, if those are clutch stats. If you want other clutch stats, let me know. 833-288-0973, 833-288-0973. Clay in the South Bay, talk us off the ledge, man. What's going on?
Hey, gentlemen. Hey, it ain't the end of everything. Shoot, it was just a tough weekend in LA Dodgers land. That's all. I mean, how many times have we seen that in the past, I don't know, 15 years?
It's true.
Hey, everybody, just slow your roll. I will say this, though. I'll say that Cease did irritate me, and I was talking to my TV, and it wasn't talking back because I'm like, dude, if you can't locate your fastball, then throw your damn slider and your curveball and trust your defense. I mean, that was just annoying. As far as everything else, I mean, hey, yeah, we got shelled in that game 6-0. Other than that, runners in scoring position, it's the same tune, different year. It ain't like we've never seen it. All we got to do is get back to winning baseball, and we can do that tonight. Let's right ourselves. Let's support our team. Let's go Padres. Let's get some wins. And how about the Cleveland Browns? I'm not buying Super Bowl tickets yet, but hey, they're 2-0 in preseason.
Hey, how about that?
I'm not overly optimistic.
Clay, you better hope the Browns don't hang a 3-0 in the preseason banner for 2025 in their new building they want to build.
That's right. Hey, you gotta get your banners where you can.
I love it, Clay. I can't wait to get the recap for every Monday on how the Browns did. We appreciate the phone call, man. That's awesome.
I will caution Clay. The 0-16 Lions went 4-0 in the preseason.
There you go.
I'm just saying.
833-288-0973, 833-288-0973. We'll continue the conversation when we come back. Braden Surprenant Show rolls on.
Hey, it's Ben.
11:17 on the Braden Surprenant Show, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. Baseball Talk of the Fan presented by Paramount Plus. You can't count on much these days, but you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus. Watch your local NFL game live every Sunday on CBS and Paramount Plus all season long. Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started today. NFL will be starting very shortly. Week 0's this week for college football. High school football starts playing real games this week as well. Should be a fun time with football on the mind of a lot of people, just as much as it is Padres baseball. Yeah, very different stats between Fangraphs and Baseball Reference for some of these things. It's got to be like how they determine what high leverage, medium leverage, and low leverage are.
Yeah.
Because Baseball Reference has their deal, which is different. You look at Baseball Reference, man, he's been great. He's been the most clutch player on the team. You look at Fangraphs, he's been the worst high leverage player on the team. Such a drastic change. I don't think this weekend series is on Manny. Does he need to play better over a series like that? Yeah. But the guy's had a great year. He can't be perfect all the time. We'll see what happens tonight against the Giants. 833-288-0973, 833-288-0973. Still a lot of people waiting on hold. Let's get to Marcus and Menifee. Marcus, what's going on, man?
Hey, guys. How you doing?
Doing well. What do we got?
Doing well. I got 3 things today. So, let's see. You guys have said a lot already, but real quick. So, I think Schultz was just trying to overhype himself and trying to outcoach Roberts. I really enjoyed the 7, 8, 9 guys coming up mostly. And then yesterday, I was just so nervous with Suarez coming in, any high leverage situation. Again, I think Schultz was just trying to outdo Roberts. And then the third thing, let's talk about food today, man. Let's get through this quick. Talk about food. Have a good day, guys.
That's hilarious. Poor Marcus, dude. Marcus is one of our very positive Padres fans. He's up in Menifee. That's got to be a lot of Dodger fans up there. It had to have been a rough weekend for Marcus.
Got about another 40 minutes before we get to the
midday.
The fun and food.
The fun and food. Did I have anything fun food-wise this weekend?
I don't. Oh, well. Don't say it now. Wait for 40 minutes.
I had a bunch of, for some reason, Arby's Instagram things pop up. And so I sent that to my family's Instagram group chat because my dad loves Arby's. And we suckered him into getting Arby's on Friday.
There you go.
That was that. I'm trying to think what I did. Friday was cool. I went to Pitchers to watch the game. Ran into a lot of Padre fans that were at Islands.
We're running
to watch Gwen and Chris.
We're running our lunchtime hour gimmick dry here.
I didn't say anything about what I ate there. That's what I did this weekend. I watched the game there. That didn't work. Watched the game at my house on Saturday and had wings and things, and that didn't help either. And then yesterday also watched it home and worked on football and ate Jersey Mike's. It did not. I tried everything I could. It just none of them worked. So we'll try our best next time. We'll get to some food stuff later if we want. Food cheers people up. Go Aztecs says. I want to know at what point during the games did Go Aztecs on Twitch decide to just fire up NCAA 26, create a Dodgers team and blow them out by 100 points. Sometimes that works. Sometimes it works. Anyway, 833-288-0973, 833-288-0973. Ryan in San Diego, you're on the Braden Surprenant Show. What's going on, Ryan?
What's going on, guys? How we doing on this amazing Monday?
Oh, it's so much fun, Ryan. We're having so much fun on this Monday. A little bit different than Friday, huh?
Yeah. No, I think you guys have hit a lot of the stuff. And if you just bear with me, I think you guys hit on a key point, and Frank touched on it as well. And it encapsulates, I think, one of the larger, more broad issues that we're dealing with, which is the overall mentality and approach about how we deal with this team and what our expectations are. Because after the trade deadline, most people agreed that we had a really good chance to make some noise in the postseason, just like last season. Frank touched on it about accountability. You obviously opened the show holding everyone accountable, and then you guys, like you say, get labeled as doomers. There's absolutely nothing wrong with simply asking questions and holding people accountable. And if we want to be competing with the larger markets, we hate being called the little brother down south, whether that's LA or the East Coast teams. The accountability needs to increase like it is in those other markets. Somebody needs to pull Mike Schilt aside or ask him in the post-game scrum, hey, Mike, we traded for Ryan O'Hearn. We have Gavin Sheets. Luis Ariz has the 10th or 11th lowest OPS plus overall on the team, and he has really bad numbers against lefties this year. Is there a particular reason why he continues to bat second or play against lefties and the other guys don't? Is there a particular reason why Jose Iglesias plays over Ryan O'Hearn or Gavin Sheets? The issues and the frustration from all of us, including I'm sure you guys, is that we feel the struggles and the downfalls and the shortcomings of this team are almost chosen and self-inflicted because we choose to put Jose Iglesias in the lineup, who's not the worst player ever, but we all know he's a platoon late inning defense guy. He should not be starting in the lineup for a team that wants to win a World Series against Clayton Kershaw. And the self-inflicted stuff, why are we bunting with Freddie Fermin on Friday night with 2 guys on and no outs? Freddie Fermin's got one of the 4 hits in the entire game, and we're down by 2. Somebody needs to ask these questions, right? You guys have done a great job today, but I'm talking in the more broad sense. The goal is not to be in first place for a day in August. The goal is to win consistently, beat good teams, improve our record against teams above 500, and like we all know, it's to win the World Series. It's not to have fun. The fun is there when we win. Like the Moneyball quote, right? When Billy Beane comes in as they dance in the locker room after a losing streak, he asks them if losing's fun. No, right? Winning is fun. The standard needs to raise and the accountability needs to go up. You guys have done a great job of that today, but LA is the standard. And then we go in there and we see what happens, right? It's all self-inflicted, and we'll see if we can improve. Got to start tonight with Robbie Ray, a lefty on the mound.
Yeah,
We'll
got to
see what
find a
the
way
lineup
to beat a lefty. Ryan, it was a really good phone call. Really appreciate it. I think everything Ryan said, too, by the way, is not an insulting question to ask Mike Schilt. And sometimes it comes across like he's being insulted, but the reality is it's like, just explain the logic. I'm not saying it was, fans might think it's bad, but I think a lot of people want to ask the question, why is Luis Ariz continually batting second? Now, they could give you as much as they want without, trying to give away secrets. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt on that. But the questions this weekend I asked the entire time with the lineup construction, why isn't O'Hearn playing? Why isn't Sheets playing? One or the other. I mean, both of them being on the bench is ridiculous. That is your pop. I mean, you talk about a team that doesn't have slug. That's your slug. And they're just sitting there on the bench. Ryan O'Hearn is an American League All-Star. An American League All-Star. He's got to be sitting here going like, why am I on this team right now? I don't get it. I don't get that. I don't get why you continue to put Ariz batting second. I mean, Jackson Merrill wasn't that great this weekend either. I think Jackson Merrill has been the most unlucky player in a sophomore year I've ever seen. He is so unlucky. But even then, why not have him bat second? Why not have the speed on the bases? I don't understand some of the moves. I don't get starting Jose Iglesias ever. I don't understand starting him ever unless you're trying to keep him up, once a week. Him starting once a week, fine. But if he's going to start, he better not be the DH. He suits you as a defensive player. Why not have him give guys breaks on their legs? If you're going to start Iglesias, have him bat second. Let Jake Cronenworth hit. If you're gonna start Iglesias, have him play shortstop. Let Xander Bogaerts have a night off his legs. If you're gonna start Iglesias, have Manny be the DH. Why is Jose Iglesias DHing for a team, as Ryan mentioned, that's trying to win a World Series. I don't get it. And to say that they can't hit lefties, O'Hearn and Sheets, look at their numbers. They've proven they can. At least enough where it looks better than like Jake Cronenworth and Arise, who continually cannot hit lefties. I just don't understand it. And I think that's also frustrating. It's just the bunting with no outs and runners on, that was head scratching. Look, I get like Freddie Fermin can bunt for a hit. I get that. But isn't the entire point of what, like that inning, right? Let's talk about that inning. Isn't that just like an extra inning, Frank?
Yes.
Where you want to play for the big inning?
Yes.
So they don't do it in extra innings, but in a regular season game where they're down 2 runs, they're not down 1, they're down 2 runs, you give up an out? I don't understand it. And you ask it, and it's just like, it's like insulting. It's like, look, I just want to know what's going on. I think our media could do a good job of asking to a point of not having it be insulting. And I it's intimidating down there. And sometimes you don't get the answers. But they're questions that, would love to be asked, love to be answered.
And again, they got caught trying to out 5D chess the Dodgers this weekend. They did. They tried to pull every single trick that they could think to pull this weekend, and every single one of them backfired because they don't do it on a regular basis during the season.
There's something about that. There's sometimes like you go on and as a coach and you start to out coach yourself a little bit. Thinking you have to do X, Y, Z and you get away from what has gotten you to the point that you're there. And I will say this. This is a good coaching staff, and Mike Schilt is a good manager. I think they're going to make the adjustment on this. I would rather have them do this now than have them just completely, bleep the bed in the postseason. But I don't want to make excuses. I mean, they had to play better, and it was a collective across the board was not a great performance, and they know it. And you just hope that they address it. Because you got a big series this week against the Giants, as the team you're trying to chase by 2 games is playing the worst team in the baseball with the Rockies. By the way, 1-5-6. Who knows? Don't let the Rockies get hot. It's in Colorado. Weird things happen there, huh? I think it would be more frustrating if the Dodgers go to Colorado, get their ass kicked, and then it'd be like, okay, what's going on here?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That is honestly more frustrating. They go to Colorado, get smoked, and you're back in it. And you're like, oh, we could have just totally buried these guys.
And that's why you say it's more frustrating because they tried to be cute.
They did.
Instead of just doing what they did in San Francisco, which was go in, hit, play your game, be in control. Mm-hmm. They tried to get cute, and it bit them every opportunity. And not one person, whether it be a player, whether it be a coach, whether it be somebody in the front office that was there watching the game, a scout that was there watching the game, said, maybe we should stop doing this and like kind of go back to what we've been doing that's been giving us success. No, they just kept banging their head against the wall, trying to get cute to beat the Dodgers. And they have done that against nobody else this year.
Somebody wants to know what you think about a rise in the 2-hole.
No, it's time to move.
I don't like
it. It is time to move.
He wasn't that bad on Saturday and Sunday.
The logic behind Arise being in the 2-hole relies on Fernando getting on base to drive him in. If Fernando's not getting on base, then Arise, you may as well have a lead off at that point.
Right. And I don't like that either. And here's the thing.
Have him hit 5 or 6, bury him in the middle of the lineup. Right. So this way there's a more likely chance for him to get on to where he does slap one. It's driving somebody in.
My thing with the lineup, I think there's the only real big head scratcher was why isn't Ryan O'Hearn / Sheets in for Iglesias? Yes. Other than that, you have your best 9 in there. Okay, so that was the big question. And then again, nobody's saying Arise stinks. It's just, I don't know why they haven't messed around with it a little bit.
Yeah, he's not as valuable at the number 2 spot with nobody on base as he is buried at 5, 6, 7 when there's most likely going to be somebody there.
He's very dangerous with runners on base because he puts the ball in play and he makes guys have to make a decision on things.
And also to your Ryan O'Hearn point, he is, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he's played in less games, less than half of his games he's been on this team. He has been in the starting lineup. Less than half.
I know. Anyway.
And you gave up what was left of your prospect pool to get him and Ramon Laureano.
Here's the other thing too, by the way. I think it's awesome. This is the luck that you had this weekend. Okay. You had none. And the team that had zero luck going into this series got all of it. But you went with, here's the deal. Because Prolific brought it up. Every time Tatis wants to run, Arise puts the ball in play. Arise actually took a pitch on Saturday when Fernando tried to steal second. He got thrown out. Like the one time he doesn't swing is the time he gets thrown out. I'm telling you, they had, as much as they didn't play very well, they got no breaks either. I mean, absolutely no breaks.
I mean, in every other at bat, he's doing the statue take on the first pitch. It's like, come on, can we stop getting into a predictable routine here, please? It's every other at bat. He's statue taking the first pitch.
I want everybody to know that Frank and I don't think the season's over. I just want everybody to know that.
No, again, this is called holding the team accountable.
The weekend sucked. It's still a good baseball team. I still think they could probably figure it out against LA. But that needs to be their main concern. You got to find a way to beat the Dodgers. You have to find a way to beat the Dodgers. Because if you look at the American League, it's not very good. The Padres have proven that they can hang or beat up every team in the National League that's not named the Dodgers. Split with Philly, split with Chicago, swept the Mets. We'll see what they do against the Reds, who might not even make the playoffs. Am I missing anybody? Who am I missing? I think that's it. I think that's it.
Yeah. And as somebody in the chat, it went up too quick because somebody would have said, yeah, sarcastic hour. The season would have been over by now.
Oh, man. If I was really feeling
sarcastic hour.
Sarcastic hour. Charles, Manny, Davis, Brandon, Nacho, Anthony, we're going to get to when we come back. We got a sports thread to get to as well. Continuing the conversation. Frustrating weekend for all Padres fans. I was beyond frustrated. I mean, that was the first time I've felt to like having it's perfect timing. Week 0 is coming up, so my college team could totally disappoint me in the first 3 weeks of the season. It felt like your favorite football team losing. That's how big of those games were. We'll talk more about Padres Dodgers when we come back. I think we all woke up on the wrong side of the truck bed this morning. Would you disagree with that, Frank?
It's been a bad case of the Mondays ever since Friday.
Oh, my God. The Mondays, huh? I got up this morning. I get to work out. I get to blow off some steam. It was great. Came in fired up. But you're right. I mean, it's just, there's no way around it. You can't sugarcoat this. It was not great. They need to play better. It sucks. Anyway, let's go back to what we were talking about. Padres, Dodgers. We're going to get a couple more of your phone calls. We'll get into the sports thread, maybe to take our minds off of the weekend that we have had. And then we got to start in the next 2 hours. Go Aztec said, talk about food. Food makes people happy. And we'll talk about the Giants series. 833-288-0973, 833-288-0973. Charles in Ramona has been on hold for a long time. Charles, what's going on, man?
Hey, thank you for taking my call, Braden. How are you doing today? I mean, other than the baseball aspect of the day.
You know what, man? I can't complain. I mean, at the end of the day, you still live in America's finest city. You live in San Diego. You know, there's a lot of the things that you could be miserable about. You know what? It's not 2013. Padres are 2 games out of first place. They're well within a playoff spot. There's a lot of things to be positive about, but you still got to hold the team accountable. The weekend was not very great.
I totally agree. And you know what? I mean, this weekend was a test, but I think this week is now the even bigger test to see how this team responds to such a collapse, to see if they, learn from their mistakes, and especially next weekend. And I think it's long overdue for a rise to be moved out of the 2 spot and put in the 4 spot or somewhere else. Partly because of Tatis's failures. And I wanted to talk about Saturday's game. I know that score didn't look close at all, but I firmly believe in those first 2 innings, if one, we challenged the Manny call, and the two other times we got caught, that game would have had a totally different outlook. Because we had Snell on the ropes. We were hitting him well. I think we had 3 hits in the first inning, and that could have been more, but we got thrown out. And I really think that was just we tried to be clever, like we had to do something different, and we had to rise to the occasion to beat the Dodgers, when in reality this team is good enough to beat the Dodgers as is. And they should have been playing loose and free, like you guys said. The only ones that did were the ones that didn't have as much in the new guys that don't have as much in the rivalry yet.
Yeah,
that can change. But I think it's a good lesson to learn, and if we're going to learn it, if it's going to happen anytime, it's better to happen now. And maybe remember 2022, Dodgers owned us in the regular season, and look how that turned out.
Absolutely, Charles. In fact, the season series winner has lost the playoff series the last 2 times. So, if you want to look at it from a positive outlook, I think there is, because I said earlier it's a learning experience. And one of my friends texted me, like, learning from what? I mean, this is the stuff, like, as a coach that you have to break down. You have to eat it. You have to watch the tape, see where you went wrong, make the adjustment, and you got a second chance at it. Not everybody gets a second chance at the team. You got one coming up very quickly. So we'll see what the Padres do against the Giants for taking on the Los Angeles Dodgers. Appreciate the phone call, Charles. You want to get to the sports thread, Frank?
Sure, let's do that.
All right, let's take a quick break from Padres Dodgers. We'll get to the sports thread and back to your phone calls.
You know that group chat? The one that's always blowing up with the biggest sports takes, debates, and breaking news?
You got barbecue back there, and you didn't invite me?
Yeah, we've got that too. Welcome to the Sports Thread, where we break down the top 5 stories in sports, just like you would with your crew.
Oh, no! Disaster! What a bad idea!
No filters, no silence, just real talk.
All right, Frank, what do we got that's not depressing?
Well, we got fights breaking out last night in minor league baseball.
Wow.
Mariners outfielder Victor Robles ejected from Sunday's rehab game for AAA Tacoma after throwing his bat at the pitcher.
I'm sorry.
who nearly hit him with a pitch.
So he almost gets hit by a pitch, and he's on a rehab assignment, and he's thought, I'm going to throw my bat at this guy?
Robles took offense to the first pitch he saw in the third inning, his second at bat of the game, from Vegas righty Joey Estes. Robles swung at Estes' up and in offering, but was nearly clipped on the right shoulder by the pitch. He was replaced by outfielder. Who cares? The guy who replaced him struck out. There you go.
Okay.
The Seattle outfielder rehabbing a dislocated left shoulder he suffered in April initially dropped his bat, but picked it up and did a full-on lawn dart throw at Estes' direction near home plate.
Like a javelin?
Yeah, he just like
he hucked it out.
Tomahawked it. Yeah.
He's like, he started a boomerang, but the bat wasn't going to come back.
Exactly right.
That is insanity.
He was instantly ejected. Robles gestured towards Estes and began heading to the mound where McCarthy and Rainier's teammates held the outfielder back. How long? Not the question is, it's not a question of how much of a suspension he's going to get. Should he be in baseball anymore? Because the last time I remember this
ban.
The last time I remember this was Jose Offerman, and I don't remember ever seeing him play ever again.
Juan Estrada throwing his bat like that can't be good for his rehab.
It probably is.
I'm rehabbing here. Watch yourself.
It probably could because it's a weighted throw.
Oh
you
my
know?
God, he should be suspended for the rest of the year. Come on, man. I mean, seriously. That's insane, dude. I can't. You're on a rehab assignment. You have bigger fish to fry. And you're gonna chuck your bat at some minor leaguer that almost hit you on a pitch you swung at.
Full on tomahawk. It was
threw it like an axe. The guy was going axe throwing down in the minor leagues.
Unbelievable.
Suspend him for the year. That's insane, dude.
And probably some next year as well, if we're being honest here.
Mariners are like, well, I guess we're not getting him back.
Yeah, well, that was fun while it lasted.
Don't be surprised if he gets DFA'd.
We have two betting stories now, and I want you to spot the difference in the perception that the league takes on betting here.
Oh, no.
With 3 players involved in a federal gambling investigation, the NBA and its Players Association said this week that they support further limitations in certain types of bets to reduce the risk of manipulation and to combat athlete abuse by gamblers. Protecting the integrity of our game is paramount, and we believe reasonable limitations on certain prop bets should be given due consideration, an NBA spokesperson released a statement to ESPN. Any approach should aim to reduce the risk of performance manipulation while ensuring that fans who wish to place prop bets can continue to do so via legal and regulated markets. Good job by the NBA to not only try to curb gambling within the sport, but also to try to curb the aggression of the prop bets.
Yeah, the prop bets is where they're starting to get a little out of hand, right? I mean, that's a lot easier to potentially manipulate. As Go Aztec said, NBA Countdown, sponsored by ESPN Bet and DraftKings.
Yeah.
That you made a deal with the devil when you wanted to include this, when you wanted the money from the sports gambling, you made a deal with the devil and it's blowing up on your face. I mean, that's what all these professional sports outlets are doing. But you know what? They find it lucrative. They find an opportunity here, then they can take it. I mean, they opened Pandora's box. Here are the results.
Now, there are some sports, like the NBA, who take responsibility for opening Pandora's box and at least try to navigate safely what they opened.
Number 3.
Then there's the NFL.
Okay.
The 2025 season kicks off with a loaded Week 1 schedule featuring marquee matchups and an exciting new DraftKings promo for football fans. New users can receive $200 in bonus bets.
Oh, nice.
Instantly, and over $200 off of NFL Sunday Ticket.
Wow.
How to claim the promo? You click Claim Bonus. Create a DraftKings Sportsbook account, entering all required information, including name, email, and last 4 digits of your social security number.
Oh, sick. Well, you gotta pay
Agree
taxes.
to the terms and conditions.
Okay.
Make an initial deposit.
Is this a liner you're getting paid for? What's
No,
going on here?
no. Make an initial deposit of at least $500 to receive $200 in bonus bets. Place a first bet of at least $500 with minus 500 odds or shorter, and you get $200 off of NFL Sunday Ticket.
They really want you to gamble, don't they? I mean, the NFL is basically built on gambling and fantasy right now. The only thing that's really keeping the NFL for being the number one sport is fantasy. It's sports betting. It's a perfect sport to bet. I mean, that's why they do it. They don't even care. The NBA is like trying to dance around the deal. The NFL's like, yeah, whatever. Just let them have it.
Again,
crazy. Can I just
Gambling
get
problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. GEG 000-466 for a full list of games and rules. Played at 7 Mile Casino.
Boogie in the chat? Can I just get the $200?
Exactly. And again, reason 7,842,968 why I hate the NFL.
Please gamble responsibly.
The NBA tries to help people gamble responsibly.
Yeah, sure.
Meanwhile, the NFL is actively giving monetary incentive.
That's right.
To go to DraftKings. Thank you very much.
Bet all your money away.
I hate all of you.
Number 4.
It's a Monday for Garfield over there.
The Big 12 will release player availability reports for football and men's and women's basketball before all conference games this year, the conference announced on Wednesday. Beginning this season, Big 12 football teams will submit daily injury reports and player availability reports starting 3 days before each conference game. Players will be designated as available, probable, questionable, doubtful, or out. Now it is announced that men's and women's basketball will have to submit those same reports. Final reports are due 90 minutes before the start of each conference game. Good
I wonder
or
who
bad
that's
idea?
for. I wonder what that's for, Frank. What do you think that's for? Do you think it's for the fans that who's playing?
I think it's for
gambling problem. Call
That's exactly what that's for.
000-466 for a full.
It's for gambling. I mean, come on. I'm a Big 12 fan, Big 12 supporter. I mean, injury reports now? Really? It's just everything's getting to gambling. I mean, they're opening up the box has been opened on the gambling. The college athletic stuff. We gotta go get injury reports now. What happened to those violations? Like, I thought you weren't allowed to disclose that with college kids.
You know, I mean, who are college kids really, other than just dollars?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, what are we doing
these kids go
here?
to school?
They're just a number. Like, come on. And that number preferably is 100 with Benjamin Franklin's face on it.
Any other betting topics today?
No, we don't. As a matter of fact,
Number 5.
it is
About
another.
gambling.
It is another NFL topic. Kind of a why bother. There was a no biggie winner for the NFL. The Cam Little 70-yard field goal. The NFL Hall of Fame has requested the uniform that Little was wearing.
Good for him.
When he made the kick.
Okay.
Bottom line is, it's not the record-setting kick.
It's not. It's a preseason game, so it doesn't count.
So why bother putting a non-record-setting kick uniform in the Hall of Fame?
I don't know.
If you're not going to acknowledge it at the as the record,
this is the first time somebody's made one in a game.
Why is it
maybe?
why is it getting enshrined in the Hall of Fame? It just makes no sense.
Unless they're thinking he's going to be able to do it again, and they're like, "Well, we have the uniform of the first time he did it when it didn't count." I don't know. I don't know the logic on that. Maybe it's expand the Hall of Fame.
I don't know.
Noon lunchtime hour when we come back. Manny, Davis, Chad, Nacho, Anthony will get to your phone calls as well. Braden Surprenant Show rolls on a Monday. That's the best way I could describe it.
the beaches to the ballparks, from the gas lamp to North County, no one knows America's finest city like he does.
You can't just punt on a Manny Machado prime use.
He's a fourth-generation San Diegan, born and raised in the heart of this community. Passionate, opinionated, and always bringing you the real talk on your teams, your city, and everything in between.
Braden totally knows his stuff. He's ready for the next step. That guy is good.
Live and local, it's the Braden Surprenant Show.
But I think Braden's one of the up-and-coming young stars in the media game in San Diego.
Now, here's your host, Braden Surprenant.
All right, new lunchtime hour presented by Kraft Taco. I could use a Kraft Taco today. For the feels. Need one for the feels.
San Diego, if you want any sort of boost after last weekend, my friend Greg, who came out here 2 weekends ago,
yes,
said Kraft Taco, easily one of the best tacos he's ever had in his life. And he knows already San Diego street tacos better than LA.
No, well, I mean,
you will always have that.
Come on.
You at least will always have that. You
Our
may not have a
cuisines.
Padres series win, but you will always have better street tacos.
Our cuisine's way better.
And that's for somebody who is here for 2 days.
Anyway, we could use a Kraft Taco today. A little comfort food after the weekend. This new lunchtime hour is brought to you by the Kraft Taco. Both flavors at 2 locations, Sereno Valley and inside Balboa Park's Natural History Museum. Use a Kraft Taco big time. I had tacos last week, but they weren't from Kraft Taco, so my foul on me. Went to Taco Stand instead. It was in the spot, in the area I was at. We don't discriminate on the show. We do prefer Kraft Taco and anything else, but you know what? Sometimes, life gets you lemons. It's kind of that story. 833-288-0973, 833-288-0973. If Braden knows so much about America's finest city, how come he hasn't talked about Ohio State's new starting quarterback? Oh, you mean the Carlsbad kid, Julian Sayin?
I was going to say, where do they play in Ohio become America's finest city? When did Columbus, Ohio become?
Well, they have their quarterback's a Carlsbad grad.
Congratulations.
Have we talked about college football too much yet?
No,
there's been no reason to yet.
We've actually
Week
waited
0
on
now.
that. We actually waited on that because I know you're going to have a ranterino.
Destroy the Big Ten. I would love to. I'm going to rip the Big Ten a new one. Let me tell you that. You thought the accountability with the Padres was tough. Well, let me tell you this. Hey, Big Ten, what are we doing? Okay?
Again,
your proposal.
Again.
What?
Paul Feinbaum found out when you create college football, when you invent college football,
you can
as
make
the
up all
Big Ten
rules,
did, you get to do whatever you want.
And come up with the dumbest playoff proposal I've ever heard.
I didn't say it was good. I just said you get to do it.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes. Anyway, let's get back to the phone calls before you talk about food for Go Aztecs. Manny and Fallbrook's been on and off for the last handful of minutes there. Let's get to Manny. Manny, what's going on, man?
Hey, Brennan. Hey, Frank. How are you guys doing?
We're doing better than we would think we'd be doing on a day like today.
All of San Diego.
Absolutely. What do you got for us?
Well, you know what? I'm going to rock the boat a little bit here because I wasn't a Bob Melvin fan, and I'm not a real big Mike Schill fan. And I know some people are not going to like that, but here, I'll explain why. So I wanted to feel a little bit better, and I watched the SDFC game yesterday, and they were getting beat up the first half. And then they went in the second half, and I don't know what the head coach, Mikey, I don't know his name,
Mikey Vares,
or something like that. Dude, that guy's a genius. Because they came in and they won 2-1 against San Jose. And I don't know, I always say that the captain of the ship is the one that
guides the team. And Bochy did that in 1998 with that team, although that team was in construction from 1996. But that's my 2 cents. And for that Cleveland Brown fan, they're the San Diego Padres of football. That's all I got to say.
That play, you know what, Manny? Clay's got a root for the Padres and the Browns, dude. That's tough. That's a tough little combo there. Mikey Var's done a great job. I like his aggressiveness. I like his fiery attitude. I mean, he's got him in first place, not just in the Western Conference now, but first place in the
league
Supporters Cup standings. Great job. They've done a great job. We'll talk more about San Diego FC later in the week as they get ready for another game. What are they down to, like 6 left?
I think 7. Yeah, and they'll be
6 or
here.
7 left.
They'll be here for the next 2. Portland on Saturday night.
Let's get out to Davis in Oceanside. I've been waiting on hold for a long time. Davis, what's going on?
Hey, what's up, Braden? How you doing?
I'm doing well.
Right on. Okay, quick hypothetical. If you're making the lineup and you had someone out of your normal starters that is 8th in on-base percentage just on your team and 11th in OPS on your team, where would you bat him?
8th on just the team and 11th
in on-base percentage and 11th in OPS.
Probably near the bottom of the order.
Well, our boy Mike Schilt prefers to bat him second. That is Luis Ariz. In the Major League Baseball, for all of MLB, according to Baseball Savant, he's in the 12th percentile for chase rate, 10th percentile for walk rate. And as far as Baseball Reference goes, second batter compared to every other team, the 2-hole, we're 28th in runs scored, 28th in RBIs, and 26th in on-base or in OPS. So all that to say, we've been kind of harping on it all morning, but no lineup protection for Tatis, to say the least. And then just one quick thing about Mike Schilt. I don't know if you guys remember towards the end of last season in the playoffs against the Dodgers, he made like a Vince Lombardi comparison.
I don't remember that off the top of my head. You want to refresh my memory?
Yeah, if you type in Mike Schilt, Vince Lombardi on Google at some point, you can pull it up. It's basically in reference to Dave Roberts not immediately showing the lineups and showing his cards. Schilt said something along the lines of like, I prefer the Vince Lombardi approach. We're going to run power sweep and kind of put it out there, and we're going to.
Oh, the Vince Lombardi approach of here's our playbook, try to stop us.
Yeah, and my issue with that, I remember him saying that because I'm a huge football fan. When he said that, it just struck me wrong in a lot of different ways. This isn't football where you can physically overpower your opponent. And there's a lot more luck in baseball, I would say, than some other sports. But all that to say, I think it's just been consistent even since then. I felt like towards the end of that Dodgers series in the playoffs last year, when we went 24 scoreless, we had to do something to switch up the lineup. We didn't. Go into this season, obviously we're having moderate success, which is great. But the Dodgers, we're 2-8 against those guys. We've now lost 4 straight series to them going back to the playoffs. And in my head, at least, I attribute it to Mike Schilt refusing to adapt, refusing to make a change, and being stubborn and, hey, here's my 1 through 4 guys, deal with it. And obviously they're dealing with it and they're kicking our butt. So a little frustrated, obviously, as everyone else is.
Yeah, it's very frustrating, Davis. And I appreciate you waiting on hold and giving us a phone call today. The lineup, I just, the Ariz in the 2 spot, I don't get. I haven't got that all year. And here's the thing. It's like he swings at so many pitches that he knows he could make contact with, but it's not a lot of pitches that he can do damage on. I mean, I would never throw Ariz a strike. I would never throw him a strike. He will swing at something. And if you're going to throw him a strike, throw him a fastball down the middle on the first pitch that he sees. Because he'll probably take that pitch and then just throw a bunch of crap all over the place. And he'll swing at it. And yeah, he does get hits on it sometimes because he's a good hand. He's got great hand-eye. But I don't understand him batting second. I mean, if you want to do that, do it lower in the order where you got guys on base. And him putting the ball in play is going to have some serious action. I like Fernando batting leadoff. I've said that the entire time, despite what everything, is going on with Fernando this year. And I mean, you look at his numbers and they're not phenomenal, but he's still one of the best in scoring runs, and he does a lot to contribute to this team, a lot more than, just power numbers. But I've been saying for the whole time, like, why not Go Fernando and then Jackson Merrill if you want to go the righty-lefty thing. And then go Manny Machado 3. And then go Ryan O'Hearn 4. Then you go Ramon Laureano 5. And then you could go back to a lefty at 6 with Arise. And then, 7 could be Bogarts. And then 8th is Cronenworth. And then you got Freddie Fermin 9. I mean, to me, that seems like an order that's going to do some damage. I don't get the Arise thing in batting 2. And maybe they change it today. Maybe they flip it. I don't know. All right, 833-288-0973, 833-288-0973. Last phone call to get to. Nacho in San Diego. What's going on, man? Nacho, you there?
Yeah, can you hear me okay?
I got you, bro. What do we got?
All right, awesome. Yeah, well, thank you guys for taking my call. I just wanted to kind of be a little bit more positive. I know it's a horrible weekend after the sweep. But I just wanted to give credit to Ramon Laureano, man. He's been great ever since he got here. I think that was probably one of the, if not the only positive thing this weekend, that he's the only one that hit. And I love the tease, Machado, but they need to step it up, man. I feel like the only one that actually hit this weekend was Ramon, and yesterday was just Luis Arias. I know and one thing about Luis Arias, people keep talking about his defense. I think his defense been not horrible. I think he's been good. And that's about it. And then the other positive thing is it was cool how SCFC ended up the weekend. I think they helped with the sweep this weekend. So shout out to the SCFC as well.
Nacho, I appreciate the phone call, man. Thanks again for waiting on hold. Yeah, San Diego FC with a nice little dub. Love to see it. Here's the thing about Arise. Nobody's saying Arise shouldn't play, by the way. Is anybody saying that?
No.
Just bat him 6th. You get 3-time batting champion batting 6th. That's how good your lineup is. Bat him lower in the order. He's done a great job defensively this season, despite, going into the year not having great defensive metrics. Thought he's done a good job playing first base. Nobody's saying he shouldn't play. Nobody's saying he's not valuable. I think he's very valuable to this Padres team. Nobody's saying that. Move him down in the order. That's all we're saying. That's all we're saying. I mean, out of all the guys that you're trying to protect against left-handers, Arise is not one of those players that is really good against left-handers compared to guys like Ryan O'Hearn, who has done better against left-handers this season. Get your best guys in the lineup. And bat Luis lower. You know what? See what happens. You got a very easy schedule. This is the time to figure this stuff out before you get to the playoffs. I mean, I don't really want to see a Arise batting 2nd in a playoff lineup. I don't. Move them down. These guys want to win a World Series. They're in it. They're bought in. They've bought into Mike Schilt. Mike Schilt does a good job of getting his teams to play for him. I just don't understand some of the logic on some of these lineup moves. I don't get it. And maybe we'll see. 833-288-0973, 833-288-0973. Do appreciate the phone call from Nacho. If we were going to have a phone caller during the noon lunchtime hour, Nacho's probably the best. I mean, really? Seriously. That was the best time to take Nacho, is in the noon lunchtime hour.
Did not even think of that.
Boom. Blew your mind, huh?
Thanks, Nacho.
Thanks for making our noon lunchtime hour. All right, we'll get back to your phone calls. We got other things we got to get to when it comes to the Padres here in this noon lunchtime hour. Rolling along. We got division realignment could be coming that we need to talk about. We got some other games throughout Major League Baseball you got to be paying attention to. Padres are now fighting as the underdog. Plus, later on, you never know, Big Ten floats a 2014 playoff idea. 2018 playoff, too. I like 24 teams, but this sounds ridiculous. We'll talk more about that later on in the show as well. Also, more of your phone calls when we return. Braden Surprenant Show, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97 through the Fan. 12:20 on 97.3 The Fan. The Braden Surprenant Show rolls on. This hour on 97.3 The Fan is the noon lunchtime hour. Bold flavors at 2 locations, Sorrento Valley and inside Balboa Park's Natural History Museum. You passed the test, Frank. Well done.
Yay! You passed it too.
Yeah, we can't say what test we passed because we got to see if the afternoon show passes said test.
We killed 2 stones with 1 bird there.
That's not accurate, but yes. Close but no cigar. 833-288-0973. 833-288-0973. Get back to your phone calls. Obviously a tough weekend for the Padres fans, seeing the Padres not do well against the Dodgers. Gonzalo in Chula Vista, you're on the Braden Surprenant Show. What's going on, Gonzalo?
Hey, I have a comment on what you're saying on Friday's game. I don't mind putting men on second and third and Tatis Arise and Machado to drive them in. You got to tie the game before you can win it, okay? And if you check the stats on Machado's weekend, he had multiple chances to either tie the game or put us in front. He was 0 for 6, I don't know. Check the stats and you'll see most of the times that he came up with men on scoring position and he filled in all of them. So I feel they played the right way. They lost 2 tough games. One they gave away. But hey, it's baseball. Stuff happens.
All right, Gonzalo, appreciate the phone call. Was he listening earlier when we talked about how Manny was not good with runners in scoring position this weekend? I don't like the what's it called? The bunting with no outs deal. I didn't like that too much. Not when you're down 2 runs. You got music going on, Frank? What's going on here?
No, not anymore. I was typing Jocelyn, thank you in the chat, and then everyone else jumped on it.
On it. 833-288-0973. 833-288-0973. Richard and Hillcrest, you're on the Braden Surprenant Show. What's going on, Richard?
Hey, good morning, guys. Tough weekend. I've got a couple concerns I'd like to bring up. Our starting pitching staff, what's left of them anyways, have got to go deeper in pitching because you still got how many games left in the season before the playoffs even start? I fear that you're going to burn out some of our relievers too soon. Secondly, I love Manny. Believe me, I do. But our leaders have got to show up in big games. And unfortunately, Manny didn't do it this weekend. And thirdly, I like your idea about switching up the lineup. Let's make up some changes just to make a change. It can't hurt. It can only help. And I love my Padres. I know they can beat the Giants, but they've got to get over beating the Dodgers. I don't know if it's a mental thing or not, but it sure looked like it to me this weekend. What's your thoughts?
I agree, Richard. I mean, it seems like a mental block for them sometimes. They've been able. I mean, they own the Giants. They've owned the Giants for a handful of years now. They've owned the Giants even when they weren't even good. The Padres. I think they've owned the Giants. It seems like for the last 15 years. But that mental block against the Dodgers has been awful. It's been rough for the Padres, and they got to figure out a way to beat them. They got another opportunity this weekend. Got to handle the Giants first, starting tonight at 6:40. All right. We've been waiting for this phone call. He's called in multiple times, but he is the voice of reason when it comes to being excited for Padres baseball. Brandon in Carlsbad. You're on the Braden Surprenant Show, man.
First of all, Braden, Frank, honor, a privilege. Second of all, okay, listen, Friar Faithful, listen, you guys. We cannot make those mistakes against the Dodgers. If that's who we're chasing, if that's the gold standard we're going for, we can't give them free bases against the Dodgers. We can't drop outs in the outfield that could have changed the whole trajectory of that game too against the Dodgers. We cannot do the things we're doing. I don't know what it is, but I do know this much. You and I and Frank, we've had these phone calls before, men. And we do know that, I mean, let's just go back to 2022. They swept us, and then we took them out of the playoffs, okay? We beat them 8-5, I think was the end of the regular season record against the Dodgers last year, and then they beat us in the playoffs. So I think it's more sour because we're dealing with a club and a fan base that we can't stand. They have freaking parades in our city, okay? They don't care. They fill our stadiums up. And you know what? I was going to say shame on all you season ticket holders. that sell to Dodger fans, but I also know that you're making good money off of them because I know a couple of you personally. So I get it. But at the same token, let's fill those seats, you guys. Let's show that we can do what we need to do. And here's another lasting thought right here. O'Hearn, Fermin, Ramon Laureano, and the list goes. All these guys now know, when we got it out of the way, how much we dislike them, what it's like to lose to them in LA, and we can shift those gears because we do have the talent. I would also, too, the narrative I've been listening to is this batting lineup needs something. And, our starting pitching is also questionable, too. So this isn't that fired up phone call, but I'll stay faithful, and I'll tell you guys, this is a new week. This is a new day. And now I'm looking at the Giants. So let's get all this freaking Dodgers mess out of the way and deal with them when they come again. God bless you guys.
Appreciate the phone call, Brandon. Yeah, absolutely, man. Focus on the Giants. They'll have another chance. They'll have another chance.
Speaking of the Giants, it was a week ago today that we were happy and talking with John Miller. And
that's right.
Doing we were good a week ago today.
Well, nothing like the Giants to get you right, huh? God, I hope that's the case. They really, especially with the Dodgers playing the Rockies, if you want to keep that dream alive, you got to be able to do that. 833-288-0973, 833-288-0973. Let's get out to Chad in Mission Valley on the Braden Surprenant Show. What's going on, Chad?
Hey, how's it going?
Could be better. Not going to lie.
Yeah, I got enough of those. Oh, my God, come on, this weekend. I was kind of over that. I kind of want to have enough sadness already, so it's okay.
All right, let's flip it. Let's go positive on a Monday.
Positive. I wanted to piggyback on what everyone else is kind of saying, but I thought this for a long time. But, man, if I'm one of the new guys and I'm on a losing team and I get traded at the deadline to the Padres, I don't care. Like, it's one of those cartoons where, like, they run so fast, like, the litter behind them flies through the air, Like, I would be out the door in a heartbeat if I was coming from a place we were playing at a minor A stadium,
Right.
Like, these guys are hot. These guys are wanting to play so badly. Like, O'Hearn not being a starting guy right now, it's crazy to me that he was coming from that to come out, like, maybe once every 2 games. Like, switch it up a little bit. Put these guys in. Like, give the rest of the Padres a break, feel like they're overworking them right now when they should be kind of letting the rest of the lineup trying to fill some space and fill some gaps and provide some much needed rest. I mean, the bottom of the order is so good right now. And like, we can't just keep giving away games like we did this weekend.
Absolutely, Chad. I agree with you. I mean, these guys are on your team for a reason. I don't know why they were not being used, to a certain extent. I mean, you saw what they did after they came in. And here's the deal. You got another left-hander tonight, Robbie Ray. We'll see what the Padres lineup is against Robbie Ray. The Padres did pretty well against Robbie Ray last time. He's 9-6 with a 2.98 ERA going against Padres left-hander and Nestor Cortez, 1-1 with a 5.71 ERA. We'll see what the lineup is like. We won't know until probably the end of our show and probably during Gwynn and Chris. 833-288-0973, 833-288-0973. Let's get it out to New York Mike out in Carlsbad. What's going on?
Hey, guys. As you know, I'm not a big Padre fan, but I really hate the Dodgers. So I'm watching the game Saturday, and I just couldn't believe. What is the rule that you can't challenge in the first inning? Oh, they don't want to lose that challenge. He was clearly safe, and they let that go. That's second and third.
I don't know why. Well, they asked Mike Schild about it in the post game, and I appreciate the phone call because this was one of our kind of topics that were frustrating on Saturday. They asked him in the post game. He said he couldn't get the information he needed in time. I mean, that was, the situation that was at hand. They got to be able to get it in a timely manner. It didn't seem like they had the angle in time to make an executive decision. I thought with how aggressive they had been playing and getting multiple guys thrown out on the base pass that they would have just challenged it anyway and rolled the dice. I mean, you get 2 of those things. But it didn't sound like they were showing the video and Mike was waiting for an answer. And then eventually he's like, all right, we're out. We're not going to challenge this. So I think it might've taken too long. I think it needs to be better in the future. And again, hopefully a learning experience for the Padres moving forward. Anthony and San Marcos here on the Braden Surprenant Show. What's going on, Anthony?
Hey, Braden. 3 points I want to touch on. First one, I think
we all knew the game plan going into this weekend, and fortunately, we did not execute it. And what I mean by that is you have an aging Kershaw on the mound on Friday. You have a Snell, who we are ultimately familiar with. Once you get some base runners, some pressure, we know that he can have a short outing himself. And the plan was, with a weak bullpen, to get these hitters or these pitchers in deep counts and get to their bullpen as early as possible. And we were unable to do so. And I think our strategy, if we believe that these hitters that we're putting at the top of the lineup are who we believe they are, then you can't be taking the bat out of their hand, doing something uncharacteristic from a Padres team we haven't seen before, and early on taking all these steal attempts. Otherwise, you shouldn't be putting them at the top of the lineup where they place, because one of the two cannot has to be true. Secondarily, I do believe, for whatever reason, Gavin Sheets has been punished, and don't really know why, when he was primarily the power hitter that was getting us through the first half of the season. And we're now forcing him to come in these spot situations to maintain and provide some spark with a fraction of the at-bats that he had when he was providing this team with the slug that they needed. And then the third thing that I'll share is just overall accountability. The best thing I can think of is when we talk about Michigan, Ohio State, it's that same feeling of I want, and I'm not saying any one player has to wear it or show it, but this is that feeling for us where, granted, in the grand scheme of things, Padres are playing good baseball, but this series, I want to know that, we come out of it feeling like there's that these players take it to the next degree. They up their game a little bit to really put this team away that we all passionately have a discuss for. So those are the three things I want to share with you. Thanks, Braden, for having me on.
I appreciate it, Anthony. Thanks again for calling in. There's a lot of things in there. I like the Gavin Sheets, Ryan O'Hearn thing to me is fascinating. Because when you acquired Ryan O'Hearn, you acquired all-star version of Gavin Sheets, right? I mean, am I wrong in there? You got all-star Gavin Sheets. That's what you acquired. And so for me, they're like the same player, right? They're basically the same player. They're both lefties. They're power bats, right? Their fielding's good, not great, right? They play first base. They play outfield. I mean, they are the same, almost the same player. So the conversation about Ryan O'Hearn and Gavin Sheets to me is, well, if Ryan O'Hearn is playing, Gavin Sheets is not playing, and vice versa. I don't think there's many opportunities for both of them to play at the same time. But that being said, I don't understand a situation where they both are not playing. It was baffling to me that both of them were not playing in the first two games this weekend, and Jose Iglesias was. Maybe I'm wrong on knowing what Jose Iglesias' role is. To me, this guy's on the team to be a defensive specialist and maybe be in a game late. And if he starts a game, it's to get Manny off his legs, or Xander off his legs, or Jake Cronenworth, or even Luis Arraez off his legs. To me, that makes sense. Him starting as a DH doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Unless you're trying to get him at bats, which they did earlier in the week against the Giants. Okay. And he ended up hitting a home run, by the way. I was shocked he hit a home run. So he helped out. But then to do it again and again against LA, it didn't make any sense. We'll see what the lineup is tonight. Going against another left-hander. 833-288-0973. 833-288-0973. We'll continue our conversation about what happened in Los Angeles. Some things moving forward now as we continue on the show. Plus, we need somebody for our midday sports standoff. If you call in and take me down in sports trivia, you will be qualified for our grand prize, which is a 2-night stay at Resorts World Las Vegas. We will do that when we come back on the Braden Surprenant Show, standing as number sports station 97 through the Fan. All right, 1240. If you call in, 833-288-0973, 833-288-0973, and take me down some sports trivia, you will be qualified for a grand prize, a 2-night stay at Resorts World Las Vegas, plus VIP admission to AYU Day Club and $175 food and beverage credit. Celebrate summer with a 2-night stay at Resorts World Las Vegas. Dine poolside at one of the 5 unique pool experiences in the 5.5 acres pool complex, the largest elevated pool deck on the Las Vegas Strip, and experience AYU Day Club, a stunning oasis inspired by the islands of Southeast Asia, where the ultimate party concepts transform the weekend into a never-ending summer. Special summer rates available now at rwlasvegas.com, now offering no resort fees and complimentary parking. 833-288-1973. Maybe we'll get somebody. Down the sideline. Wow. Frank's working on that right now. Mike Schilt was on MLB Network Radio not too long ago. We're going to hear what he had to say about, obviously, the weekend series. I just think, to me, it is a tough ask to try to get the Padres back into the division conversation. They're going to need a lot of help. You're going to need a lot of help. Do we have a contestant? Right. All right. We'll have that backed up. So somebody goes like, were you going to talk about how poorly attended the Aztec Fan Fest was? I was preoccupied with Don's football, but they think they announced like 500 people. That was the announced attendance at Fan Fest, which makes me feel like it was Thursday, like a best day to do that. I mean, we were talking about how great it was for the Aztecs to do Fan Fest before the Dodgers series, like doing it, competing with the Dodgers series was probably not going to be great. 500 is not great, Frank. 500 is not great.
No, it wasn't.
It's not great.
No.
I saw Bree Savant's Instagram stories from it, who works for KUSI, who was covering that event. There was not a lot of people in the stands, if there was 500 people. And I would imagine most of them were like parents.
I mean, and again, it comes down to this is what you've done as far as San Diego State is concerned. You don't give these people a reason to go out. They're not going to. You have to prove it. You have to prove that the program has changed. You have to prove everything you've said about looking more locally for recruits. You have to prove it, and then you'll see the changes. You're not just going to be able to say it and people come out and spend time and money, especially on a weeknight, to do it, to go out there.
They have done a lot better job of getting good players to stay in San Diego. Or, here's the other thing, too. You recruit the good athletes. They go to a Power 4 school. You maintain the relationships, so when they enter the transfer portal, they come back to San Diego State. I think they've done a good job with that as well. But 500 people announced attendance at San Diego State Fan Fest. That has to be disappointing for the Aztecs. But here's the other thing about Aztec football, and we're going to, just briefly, you're not going to get the best athletes out of San Diego. I mean, Julian Sayans, the starting quarterback for Ohio State, it was announced. He's out of Carlsbad. I mean, the best players here in San Diego are not going to stay at San Diego State. Now, they might come back. You never know. But with the Aztecs, like, the really thing that hurt them too is COVID. Because right before COVID, they were at a high level. I mean, that stadium at Qualcomm was filled when they played Stanford and they beat them when the lights went out. And they were moving in the right direction with Rocky Long. And then with the whole stadium demolished, and then going to LA for 2 years was just like, that kills momentum in town. San Diego State could not afford to play games out of town. And then they played games out of town where you couldn't attend games. So they're playing at StubHub with no fans, and they came back to this brand new stadium, and they had an awful year. And then they bring in Sean Lewis and company, which I think is the right move. And then they also have an awful year. And now they're not starting from here anymore. It went down even further, and now they're going to start again. So it's ever since like Rocky Long left and you had Brady Hoke here, it was, and to me, that was always going to be a disaster, because when Rocky Long left, and there was a lot of reasons for him leaving. I mean, think about this. He left a head coaching position in which he was legit, and they were winning conference championships, and they were winning bowl games. He had Aztecs football as high as they've been in a long time, and he left to go to New Mexico to be the defensive coordinator. Like, he went from a head coach position in San Diego, California, and I know he had ties to Albuquerque, New Mexico. I understand that. But he went for the head coach at San Diego State, living here, making good money, to a pay cut of being the defensive coordinator in Albuquerque? None of that made sense. They didn't go hire anybody. They just promoted Brady Hoke, who had come back to Rocky Long's staff after Brady Hoke left it for Rocky Long when he took the Michigan job. And that was this spiral that started to run San Diego State football out of control. You are now at a very, very bottom to rise from. And it just, I think the 500 in attendance has made it even more difficult for San Diego State. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, 100%. Absolutely.
It's going to be tough sledding. They're going to have to go like 8-2 out of their first 10 games to get some serious momentum. San Diego FC is the best team in the MLS. The San Diego Padres, despite this weekend, are still World Series contenders. They do have to get to the Dodgers. You have a lot going on in the sports world in San Diego for San Diego State football to just exist, I guess. Anyway, that was a good question by Juan Reese. I'm an Aztec alumni. I have zero interest, he says. Got to get people interested. Maybe Aztec Fast will do that. Let's get to today's Midday Sports Standoff.
Welcome to Midday Sports Standoff on the Braden Surprenant Show.
I can't believe what I'm seeing right now.
The ultimate head-to-head battle where sports knowledge and quick thinking collide.
No, he's no good. Are you kidding me?
Contestants will go toe-to-toe with Braden in a sports trivia deal where every correct answer brings them closer to victory.
Down the sideline! Wow! Unbelievable!
But 3 strikes and it's game over.
This is not Detroit, man. This is the Super Bowl.
Can you outsmart Braden? The Midday Sports Standoff starts now.
The things people get upset about, dude. It's called the Murph. Whatever, dude. It's not existent anymore. Who cares? Anyway.
It's called Snapdragon right now, actually.
Yeah, the Murph has been reduced to rubble, and now they have a building called Snapdragon Stadium. I called it Qualcomm because during my lifetime, it was always called Qualcomm. My apologies. All right, Frank, Who's playing today?
We have Mike in Ocean Beach playing today. Mike, how are you?
Not too bad, boys. How you guys doing?
We're doing good. Got a lot of our frustrations out today.
Considering everything, yeah.
Trust me, I've hit a bunch of stuff and kicked stuff already.
There
I'm
you
better
go.
now.
Sounds good.
So you have 6 possible answers for today's trivia question. We are right in the midst of the Little League World Series right now.
Okay.
There are 6 states that have never been represented in the Little League World Series. Who are those 6 states? Mike, you have the first shot.
They've never been there.
They've never been in the Little League World Series.
Been. Alaska.
Alaska, kind of a good shot there.
I would say like Idaho.
Idaho has been to the Little League World Series. Mike?
Wyoming.
Wyoming. 2 for 2 for Mike. Mike is a Little League World Series fan. Braden?
He's got to like think. I'm thinking like the regions and who usually dominates. What about like New Mexico? There you go.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, what?
My bad. Sorry.
Mexico's been.
New Mexico has been to the Little League World Series. Mike, you can at least you could secure a tie right here.
Let's go. Vermont.
What, your phone cut out? What was that?
Vermont.
Vermont's never been either.
Vermont has never been. So Mike is definitely qualified now. Braden, let's see if you go 0 for 3 here.
Well, I know South Dakota's in it this year. So North Dakota, who Frank said doesn't exist. North Dakota's been too.
Braden goes 0 for 3. Mike, let's just go until you get one wrong right now.
Let's go. Maine.
And he got one wrong. All right. So, Mike, hold on the line. We will get to you. Braden is already done and dusted. Would you like to have another guess, sir?
States have never been there. I don't know. Indiana.
We have found a topic that the fans can win on.
Who are the states?
Alaska, Vermont, Wyoming were the 3 we got. Colorado has never represented.
Colorado's never been.
Kansas has never represented. And Wisconsin has never represented.
Wisconsin's never gone. Wow.
We have found a topic, folks. More Little League World Series topics coming this week.
Well, states that have never been. I mean, it's very difficult because I've watched so many Little League World Series. Usually it's like, who's in the West that's going to beat California? Nobody. Usually, except for Hawaii and Arizona.
Again, that's the usually.
All right. And there's 2. Oh, but there's also like Southern California and Northern California. But you're just looking for the states?
Yes.
I can't believe Wisconsin hasn't made it. I want to say I can't believe that both Dakotas have made it. Idaho making it is also
Again, there's
shocking.
only one Dakota.
There's 2.
There's only one Dakota.
As Gonzo said, states that haven't been caught cheating in the Little League World Series.
That's, you know what? That's the states with the most integrity in Little League World Series history. There you go.
That's why I like watching these kids lose, because most of the kids are like super arrogant. Did
you see that one kid yesterday saying that he wasn't all that excited to meet Juan Soto because he's kind of overrated? Like, really? You D-bag? What are we doing?
Kids these days, dude. Kids these days are super entitled. I don't know. It's the first time to do with a child. The Little League World Series is funny to me because everybody's got a special rule. Like, nobody's there. It's not the 12 best kids from your local Little League. Every team that's playing in the Little League World Series has a special rule. They've all been playing with each other since they were 8. They're a travel ball team that entered into the Little League just to go to Williamsport. They are, they're 15. I think they're 14 years old. They're one of those. I mean, there's like addresses that are getting changed so they can play, for a certain little league. They make like these stacked teams. That's why it's so fun to watch the drama play out.
New York Mike in the chat. Why are we, again, this is the second time. Why are we so
why is everybody looking at Frank's
on
legs?
My shorts? Like, what are we doing here? They're gray shorts. I understand I'm white. I get it. I don't go out in the sun much. I understand that.
Can you stop showing your legs on the stream, dude?
But like, this is the second time in 2 weeks that people are concerned about whether or not I'm wearing shorts on air.
The amount of cheating that goes on to go to Williamsport is hilarious to me. I mean, it's just hilarious. That's what I'm saying. Like the drama at this thing is great. The drama, these kids like living and dying every pitch. You see them like dropping F-bombs on their when you read their lips after things. It's just like, what's going on? Foul on the leg view. That's a foul.
Yeah. Also, there's also the foul on the chat as well for the can you show the backside now? That's another one.
He draws the foul.
That's so funny. You incited a riot in the chat by showing off your legs.
I'm sorry they look good, man.
I don't know. I don't know what just happened. We need a break to reset at this point in time. No more showing off your legs, Frank.
I didn't do it unprompted.
See ya. I hope you're happy with yourself. I hope you're happy for what you've done. You get all these super chats now.
Some of y'all need Jesus. Like, my goodness. Some of you guys just went straight.
You fell into the trap.
Feral.
You fell into the trap about the pants thing. Frank showed off his legs, and now we have
and now
disruption everywhere.
Now there's people asking for
stop it,
feet pics.
Stop!
No, it's not
God.
happening. It's not happening.
This is what happens on a crazy Monday.
Y'all just went straight feral.
You brought it upon yourself.
I'm going.
It's a foul on you.
I've
already
got the. Well, I mean, if I had enough.
Oh man.
Oh, Adam, why?
I'll just throw it up there. He's got legs and he knows how to use them.
I do, apparently.
Gonzo, we're all having a day. That's, you know what? Everybody's having a good day. Flip. Well, you know what? Maybe it was maybe the winning streak the Padres are about to go on could be called Frank's legs winning streak.
There it is.
That's what we needed.
And
Frank
Rod,
showing off his legs.
And Rod, I know that you did. Thank you for the donation, by the way. You are a jerk for that comment.
That's so funny.
You are a jerk
Chicken
and a
noodle
half
soup.
for that comment.
So you got bird legs?
Frank pops some buttons. No,
Oh,
no,
Gonzo,
I'm not.
stop it.
No, as a matter of fact, no, we're
tightening up the top
we're
button.
We are going full. We're going full Christian right here. This is no. There's no only Franks, no nothing.
Only Franks. Started only Franks.
There's no only Franks.
Yes!
No, nothing's
so
going on. You
funny.
see, we're all the way up now. You guys get no skin. I'm wearing pants and long sleeve shirts the rest of the year.
Okay. Adam changing the subject of the chat. Who's going to the game tonight? Frank might be there wearing shorts.
I'm not going to the game tonight.
That's going to incite some people to go. Anyway, this hour of 97 through the Fan is brought to you by U.S. Wellness Meats. Speaking of meat, overwhelmed by processed foods,
Hey, yo.
U.S. Wellness Meats offers an all-natural alternative, 100% grass-fed beef, pork, poultry, wild-caught seafood, and more. Ship free from family farms. Get 20% off your first order at uswellnessmeats.com. You brought this upon yourself, and you're still showing off your leg there. So, are you okay? Are you going to be able to make it to the show,
New
Frank?
York Mike in the chat. Are those natural casings?
Hot dog joke. The New Yorkers are having a good time with a hot dog joke. Wow. This is hilarious. Are you okay? Are you going to make it through?
Actually crying now.
He is crying. He can't even breathe. I am CPR certified. I would prefer not to use it.
I would prefer you not either. Might actually get
Take a
some
deep breath.
peace.
That's okay. Do you have that clip from Mike Schilt?
I do have that. I do have that
play
clip from Mike Schilt.
Let's let Frank kind of recompose himself. He has tears rolling down his face right now. He is laughing so hard. So the only Franks is the hilarious thing. But New York Mike says you guys got to hang out. I don't know what that entails, but let's hear from Mike Schilt first.
Mike Schilt today.
It's a lot of fun for us too. The body of work you mentioned over the recent schedule has been good, but we do have a recency bias in this game, 2 out of 3 against the Red Sox, and played well in the Giants series at their place. But we just couldn't put it together as consistently as we needed to this past weekend over in LA. Did get heard the Oriana homer against Kershaw. That was their only lead. After that, they got the lead back right after that, 2-1, and we just played from behind the whole way and just got in the hole in games 2 and 3 and dug out yesterday to tie it. And, they got right back on top. But, overall, wasn't our best baseball. They played well, credit to them. And we'll look forward to playing tonight and moving forward. It's a lot of fun for us too.
All right.
There's your classic Twitter.
Yeah, that was like a repeat. It starts repeating. They obviously been playing good baseball in the second half. In fact, they have a top 5 record since the All-Star break, the Padres do. They got to be able to find a way to beat the Dodgers. Is basically the recap that we'll have here compared to, what it was at the beginning. When we came out guns blazing, I mean, the team understands that they did not play well. They let the Padres fans down this weekend, but there's a good opportunity for them to bounce back next weekend, or should I say this upcoming weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday against the Dodgers. Now, they have to handle the Giants the next 4 days. And while the Padres are handling the Giants, the Dodgers are handling the Rockies. You have to, as the Padres, have to match what the Dodgers do in Colorado. They have to do it. You cannot afford to lose any more ground. I mean, being 2.5 games, it's really a half because the Padres lost the tiebreaker over the weekend because they have lost the season series now, going 2-8 against the Dodgers in the first 10 games of the season against LA with 3 games to go. Not great. It would be nice for them to take 2 out of 3 over the weekend. But again, they got to deal with Robbie Ray and company tonight. We are interested in what the lineup could potentially be going against another left-hander. A left-hander that you saw relatively recently from last week. Padres did a decent job against Robbie Ray last week. But there's a lot of question marks coming to who's starting, who's not starting. Why did you get Ryan O'Hearn if you're not going to use him? Are you okay?
I'm fine. Yeah,
okay.
I'm good.
I'm good. Because you also forgot, during the break.
I did. Yeah, because we were dealing with chat going feral over there. Jocelyn, there's a rewind feature. I'm not doing it again.
Big chop. Frank's Legs officially signed a 10-year, $300 million contract with 97 through the fan via Jeff Passan. Passenbaum. How about that? Anyway. All right, so you're going against Robbie Ray, who you've seen before last week. Did well against him last week, last Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken. And I just want to pull up what the lineup was last Tuesday. I'm pretty sure this is the other time that Jose Iglesias started, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pulling it up right now. It is. So maybe you will see Jose Iglesias start at the designated hitter spot. The lineup that they had against Robbie Ray last time: Fernando Luis, Manny Machado, Xander Bogaerts, Jackson Merrill, Ramon Laureano, Jose Iglesias, who did hit a home run, Jake Cronenworth, Freddie Fermin. I probably think that's going to be the lineup tonight. If I had to bet, if I had to guess, that's what my guess would be, Frank.
I would guess so as well, honestly. But again, you got to do something different, especially after last weekend. You can't just trot out the same lineup again.
That lineup had 10 hits against the Giants, 5 runs against Robbie Ray, 4 against Robbie Ray. Iglesias hit a bomb. I mean, if Iglesias hit a home run against Robbie Ray last time, don't you think they're probably going to start him again at DH? I'd rather see him play third or shortstop.
Don't start him at DH. Play him in the field.
I agree. I'd rather have Manny DH or Xander DH or even Arise DH. I'd rather have any of those guys.
If you're gonna start Jose Iglesias, you have to make it mean something.
I agree.
Which means it's not just enough for him to get at bats. Yeah, that's a great meaning, but you need to get somebody else off their feet. Manny out, Bogarts out, Jake out, Arise out. Someone has to sit and just take at bats in order for Iglesias to play. He cannot be the DH on this team. He can't.
I don't think so either. I don't care if it's a lefty. I mean, you brought in Ryan O'Hearn to be a DH, and I know he's a left-handed hitter. He's an all-star this year. I got to pull it up because I'm pretty sure I'm not crazy on the splits against left-handers this year.
I mean, I like Iglesias, but leaving him as a DH, that's not it. That's not the play. It's not.
Ryan O'Hearn in 2025 is hitting .267 with an .812 OPS against a lefty.
That's good enough.
That's good enough. That's good enough to start every day at DH. That's good enough to start every day at DH.
What'd you say? It was 263, you said?
267.
That's better than Jake Cronenworth's batting average.
On the year.
Not just against lefties, his batting average.
Why If you're going to play that game, why is Jake Cronenworth playing every day and not Ryan O'Hearn? I think it's a fair question. I mean,
why is
it.
Cronenworth getting those lefty at bats?
Right.
Start Iglesias at second and have O'Hearn be your DH.
Jake Cronenworth against left-handed pitching this year, hitting .230 with a .715 OPS. It's still not atrocious. 3 home runs, 13 RBIs. Still not atrocious. But O'Hearn's better than him. Do I need to pull up more guys? I mean, here's the other one, Luis Arraez. I think he should be playing in some capacity. Okay. Nobody said take him out of the lineup. But if I look at Luis Arraez's numbers, let's take a look. Another left-handed hitter, right? And against lefties, hitting .263 with a .636 OPS. His average is pretty on par with Ryan O'Hearn. His OPS isn't very good. But I don't understand why Ryan O'Hearn is not playing on a daily basis. I don't get it.
And why you would trade that much prospect capital for him? Because, again, the star of that trade is not Ramon Laureano, even though he has become the star of that trade. Even though he has become the most impactful player of the two, that was not the Ramon Laureano trade. That was the Ryan O'Hearn trade. And he sat
with the slug.
And he has sat for more games than he started in his Padre career.
Here's what I also don't understand. Okay, like Jackson Merrill's hitting, what did he hit on Friday and Saturday, like in the order? Because against Robbie Ray, he hit lower in the order. He hit 6th.
I think he was 4.
2, 3, 4, 5. He was 5th. He was 5th on against the Giants, against Robbie Ray, a lefty. I'm pretty sure he was near the top of the batting order. And here's the thing with Jackson Merrill. He's starting every day. He's great defensively. He's great in the field. He's great on the base path. I mean, he's a great player. He's an all-star from last year. He's your future. He's your future.
Yeah, there are guys.
He needs to be playing every single day.
There are guys that outplay that lefty-righty matchup.
Right. Well, anyway, so Jackson Merrill needs to play every day. Jackson Merrill against Kershaw hit, if my computer was fast enough, I'd be able to tell you. He hit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He hit 5th. So he's hit 5th against the left-handers. Jackson Merrill's numbers against lefties are not very good. He's hitting .238 with a .639 OPS. So out of all the lefties, and I didn't do Gavin Sheets because to me, Ryan O'Hearn's better than Gavin Sheets. So why even, I don't want both of them in the lineup against a left-hander. But let's pull up Gavin Sheets' stats too. Just for transparency. Again, just this season against left-handers. I guess they probably look at career numbers and other things like that. But Gavin Sheets this year against lefties in 108 plate appearances is hitting .275 with a .678 OPS. So let me get this straight. For playing the righty-lefty matchup, Frank, there are 2 players that are hitting .270 against left-handers as lefties. Both of those players have solid OPSs as well. They don't play. The other 3 that have way less averages and OPS numbers against left-handers as lefties play every single day. Is the defense of Jake Cronenworth at second base or the defense of Luis Arraez at first base better? So much better than Ryan O'Hearn that they have to play every day?
No.
I mean, what is Jose Iglesias' numbers?
Jake Cronenworth is not Ozzie Smith.
No, he's not. In fact, I think last year him and Arraez were statistically, metric-wise, the 2 worst second basemen in Major League Baseball. That was last year. I don't know about this year. Jose Iglesias. Okay, maybe the dude rakes lefties. Jose Iglesias against left-handers this season. He's hitting .263, not bad. He's got a .741 OPS, not bad. All right. Makes a little bit of sense. But I don't understand why Jose Iglesias is a DH. I don't get it. Brian O'Hearn needs to be playing every day. He needs to be playing every day. If you're going to rest the guy against the lefty, rest the Arraez. If not, have Arraez DH and have O'Hearn play first. I mean, I don't understand the Iglesias batting as a DH. Again, his numbers look pretty good. I mean, you got to agree, 263, 741 OPS is not bad. But you get that out of Ryan O'Hearn against lefties. You get that out of Ryan O'Hearn against lefties. O'Hearn's hitting 267 with an 812 OPS against lefties this year. Iglesias 263, 741 OPS. I'd take O'Hearn. I don't understand why he's not playing. It didn't make any sense. And the guy's been clutch for this team too. 833-288-0973, 833-288-0973. Well, the commissioner opened his mouth again, Frank.
That he done did.
Is it ever good when he does that?
No.
No, it's not. We'll explain when we come back. 121 show's flown by. Ever since Frank started to get erotic over here. It's on you, dude. You brought that upon yourself. Are we still getting tweets about? Are we still getting messages about that?
Yeah, I'm seeing them still trickling in.
RIP your mentions on Twitter. 97 through the fan. This hour of 97 through the fan is also brought to you by the California Office of Traffic Safety. Seeing a video of Frank Marchese while you're driving? That's not traffic safe. Classic.
Frank's thighs up next on court 15.
Ah, there it is. Frank shows leg up on court 15 against Coldplay ruined my marriage. Did you see that? Did I show you that? We talked about that on Friday, didn't we? Cathedral's Coldplay camp.
Yes, we
did. They have the video board. I can't wait
Yes.
to see that on Friday. Hilarious. All right. What was Rob Manfred? Did you watch the game last night? You had to have.
I watched bits and pieces of it. Yes.
The New York Mets playing the Seattle Mariners in the Little League Classic.
Yes.
Rob Manfred, obviously, big component for baseball, was on the broadcast last night and on the ESPN Sunday Night Baseball broadcast. Commissioner Rob Manfred talking with Carl Ravitch about some interesting things that you might see in the baseball future.
How about a window into the future? Expansion, realignment, expanded playoffs. I mean, can you see that down the road?
I can. I think the first two topics are related in my mind. I think if we expand, it provides us with an opportunity to geographically realign. I think we could save a lot of wear and tear on our players in terms of travel. And I think our postseason format would be even more appealing for, entities like ESPN, because you'd be playing up out of the East, out of the West, and that 10 o'clock time slot where we, sometimes get Boston, Anaheim, would be two West Coast teams. And that 10 o'clock slot that's a problem for us sometimes becomes a real opportunity for our West Coast audience. So I think, I think the owners realize that there's demand for Major League Baseball in a lot of great cities, and we have an opportunity to do something good around that expansion process.
Was there a rave going on back there?
Must have been.
All right, so Rob Manfred's talking about realigning the divisions, realigning the conferences, which is basically making them more geographically friendly, which is an interesting thought. I don't necessarily know if I would like this too much. I mean, it is fascinating. And again, when you start looking at it, they want to expand. They're trying to fix some stadium problems. Obviously, the A's moving to Vegas has been somewhat fixed, and they got to worry about the Rays now in Tampa. But I think we've gotten good news on maybe the Trop getting fixed or something like that. I can't remember. And then after that, they want to expand. They were talking before about, I think it was either Jeff Passan or Jim Bowden. It could have been Jeff Passan, about Nashville is basically a shoo-in for a team, and Salt Lake City is also a team that might be, or a market that they like, that they want to add a team for. And so with that, it sets up for two conferences with 16 teams in each. And they want to break it into 4 divisions of 4, like the National Football League. They got 32 teams. They have 4 divisions. They have the West, the South, the North, and the East in both leagues. Now, the difference is all of those, the NFL still has AFC, NFC. They're not like the NBA or the NHL. It's based on how regional everything is. Let's just entertain Rob Manfred for a second. Okay, Jim Bowden put this out, I think either last year or 2 years ago, with the conferences, a Western Conference and an Eastern Conference, and what it might look like. Let me ask Mr. Met over here. How would you like to have the Eastern Conference have 4 divisions, East, North, Mid-Atlantic, and Southeast? What is this, hockey? And your East Division is Boston, New York, and Philly. That seems rough.
Yeah, that's a tough division every single year.
Not only is it a tough
That's
division, that's
every year.
Just so many the fans.
Yeah,
They should call that the insane fans division.
I think you can still do the 3 of 5. I think that's still a thing you could do.
There's 32 teams now. They're talking about expanding and then making the thing happen. I would prefer just 2 divisions.
Math on the radio.
2 divisions per conference of 8. I'd rather see that than the 4-4. But
yeah, which is more or less what they had before. But it's most likely going to happen. But my question is, he's talking about, sometimes you get Boston out in Anaheim, and you're looking at that and that being a debt. So does that mean the East is never going to play the West?
Yeah, does that mean you're not playing everybody again?
You've made such a big deal of everybody playing everybody with this new schedule, and then it sounds like you're just going to take that right off the table.
And so you're just playing your conference, and then that's it? I mean, maybe a couple interconference games, like I guess that are short travel, but Jim Bowden's proposed the realignment's got the Red Sox, Mets, Yankees, Phillies in the East. He goes to Charlotte and Nashville getting expansion teams.
And I think both being in the East.
I think Salt Lake probably gets one, but you never know. The North of the 2 Ohio teams, Cincinnati and Cleveland, Detroit and Toronto, which are all right next to each other. Mid-Atlantic, Baltimore, Charlotte, Pittsburgh, and Washington. If there is Charlotte, I guess that makes sense. Southeast, Braves, Marlins, Nashville, and Rays, and that would all be in the Eastern Conference.
You want to win a division every year? That's how you win a division every year if you're the Atlanta Braves.
Well, how about some of these divisions in the West? Go to the Western Conference. The Midwest Conference. Cubs, White Sox, Brewers, Twins. Very regional. It's almost like they're taking the two, like your interleague rival and your other rival are like together.
That is more or less what all of this has been so far.
With the exception of the Padres, because they're not really close to Seattle. We'll get to that in a second. Southwest, Houston, Kansas City, St. Louis, Texas.
Southeast.
It's technically the Southwest, but yeah.
No, we're Southwest.
I know, but that's the name of the division, they said. I mean, Texas is technically Southwest from New York.
Right, but it would be the Southeast of the Western Conference. Anyway, continue.
You're having too much of a fuss of what they name the division. That's just going to be the...
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I do.
Pacific Coast. Now, if you look at the Southwest, again, it's Rangers, Astros, rivals, Royals, Cardinals, rivals. Interleague. Used to be interleague for Houston and Texas. Pacific Coast. Rockies, A's, Mariners, Giants. That might be the best way Bob Melvin and company can get a playoff appearance.
So the Pacific Coast Division has 2 teams that are in the desert.
The coast.
Got it.
One's in the desert and the other one's in the Rocky Mountains, which is basically, by the way, have you been to Denver?
Flown over it.
Denver's Kansas. It's on the plains. It's basically Kansas. You're in the plains. You're not in the mountains. You're like the edge of the Rocky Mountain. You're in Kansas. Nothing screams Pacific Coast like Colorado.
At least Denver's in a state that exists.
Why did they just name that conference the West? And then they named the West Conference. This should be the Pacific Coast Conference. Except for, I guess, Arizona's landlocked. Arizona, Anaheim, LA, San Diego. The problem with a lot of these is some of the divisions are ridiculous. Like the East in the Eastern Conference. Boston, both New Yorks, and Philly. Then you have these other conferences, like the division, like the Mid-Atlantic. Are you kidding me? Somebody has to win that. Baltimore, Pittsburgh, Washington, and maybe Charlotte? Somebody has to win. Southeast, as you mentioned before, Rays, Braves, Marlins, Nashville. Braves are going to be in the playoffs every year. The Pacific Coast Division, are you kidding me? Colorado, Las Vegas, the A's, Seattle, and San Francisco. What a division. And then the West, Diamondbacks, Dodgers, Padres, Angels. I mean, it'd be great for travel, right?
I mean, again, and we are looking at it kind of as how the teams are now I give it 10 years from now, the White Sox might be a dominant force in that division. Who knows?
Never know. They got to spend money, though. That's the difference.
Well,
It's not like college football 3 alignment where you get new checks.
They've made it to a World Series in the last 20 years.
They've won one.
Yeah, they've won one. So I mean,
it's been a long time since Jermaine Dice walked through those doors.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's from 20 years ago, they were contending and winning a World Series, and now they're contending to be the worst team in the history of baseball. But it could change. But I think there might need to be some more graphing that goes on, especially as far as the Southwest East division goes.
You're just so caught up on the
division
I am. Names. I'd rather see Major League Baseball play everybody. Everybody else does that.
That's
the NBA does it. The NHL does it. The ones that can physically play that many games do it. I don't mind seeing the Padres play everybody. You know, somebody in the chat mentions like all the teams that are bad in the American League you don't want to see play. There's a lot of teams in the National League that are bad that I don't want to see. The least amount of games against the Colorado Rockies, I think, the better. But with that, you do have to sacrifice some good. I mean, you have to sacrifice some good opponents like the Dodgers, like the Giants, like, you know, fun opponents for Padres fans, Phillies, to make some of that happen. I don't know if I like this or not. I think it's okay. It sounds like they're going to do it eventually. But so many years of tradition of having the division of the Padres and the Rockies and the Diamondbacks. I mean, some of those are obviously recently.
Yeah, but I mean, you also got to remember.
Padres,
you've
Giants.
also got to remember that there was a time where it was just the American League and National League with no divisions.
Right.
There were 2 divisions where there was no divisional series, there was no wild card series, and now it seems unfathomable that baseball existed without those things because we've gotten so used to it. So it's a change.
Is there any need for a division in the first place?
Not really.
If you're playing everybody, I mean, you might as well just do what the NBA and the NHL
Yeah,
do.
just go with the American League, go with the National League, have them play each other. And I mean, that's another way you can ease travel burdens. Just get rid of divisions entirely.
There's no reason to have divisions. But then, you know, it's a break in tradition.
And just take the top 6. Take the top 6 from each league every year.
Speaking of breaking tradition, what in the world is the Big Ten doing? We're going to talk about that to finish up the show. And it's time to we're done talking about the Padres-Dodgers series. It's time to focus on San Francisco. We will get you a quick preview of tonight's game when we come back to finish up the show. San Antonio Sports Station 97 to the Fan. We are very sorry that today's show is over. Frank Marchese, myself, Braden Surprenant. The Braden Surprenant Show will roll to 2 o'clock where Gwen and Chris will take over. We'll see what their take is. Obviously, they have a lot more time to digest and calm down.
I did see. We also have to help us out after the show. We do have an emotional support puppo here tonight. Chemo's dog Angie.
Oh, Chemo's dog.
I've seen roaming around the station.
Okay.
So we have an emotional support eminal to help us out today.
Yes. It's been a rough day. Needed to be better over the weekend. We needed to be better. We can now flush it and be ready for the Giants. And again, as we've mentioned before, that we don't think the season is over.
No.
By any means. We don't think the season is over. It was just a tough sled. Anyway, to go through the weekend, and the division is now, you're now behind the 8 ball. You don't control your own destiny. You're going to need some help from very bad teams. And I mean very bad. Because the Dodgers play some very, very bad teams. Starting tonight with the Colorado Rockies. They got the Rockies for 4 games. Padres got to do exactly what the Dodgers do against the Giants as they do in Colorado. So that's some of that. We're going to talk more about the Padres and Giants in just a little bit. But it is week 0, Frank.
That it is.
And we did get some BS happen over the weekend with news. Again, expanding the college football playoff. Would you like to take us through what the Big Ten was trying to do, or what they're trying to do?
2014 playoff. Everyone in the Big Ten is in, and the rest of you guys fight for it. More or less it, right?
Basically. 100%.
So the Big Ten is considered a massive expansion for the college football playoff that would grow the postseason to 24 or 28 teams. The idea is in the very early stages. The proposal eliminates conference title games and offers a large number of auto bids for all 4 of the Power 5 leagues, still showing no respect to the Pac-12. For example, in the 28-team model, the Big Ten and SEC would each get 7 automatic bids, with the ACC and Big 12 each receiving 5. There would be 2 auto bids for non-Power 4 conference teams and 2 at-large bids. The 28-team format would put 20 playoff games on campus, which would make more money.
Yes.
For the schools. There was a word there I just avoided.
All right. 24 teams I'm in. Okay? I'm in on 24 teams. I am not in on how the Big Ten wants to construct this. I am not in where you would get 7 bids for the Big Ten and 7 for the SEC. Does anybody want to look at the standings from last year of teams that would be in this thing?
Bro, why do you got to bring logic into
I mean,
this?
come on. Really?
Why do you got to bring logic, man?
Look at the Big Ten standings from a year ago. Do they need 7 teams? Well, we invented college football.
They did.
I'm sure. So, what does that mean?
They
Birthplace
win.
college football, Rutgers, hey. Which was not an original Big Ten school, so. That's like all these schools taking credit, or at least conferences taking credit for like their new teams that they've showed up and what they did in other conferences. You know, Katie Ledecky Katie Ledecky did in the Pac-12. She didn't do it in the Big Ten, okay? So if you look at last year's standings of the Big Ten, that means Oregon makes it, Indiana makes it, Penn State makes it, Ohio State makes it, Illinois, Iowa, Michigan? Michigan was 5-4 last year. Michigan's making the college football playoff out of the Big Ten of this deal?
That's 5-4 in a very tough conference, sir.
Oh, get out of here. All right. If I say SEC, you'll be all for this, right? Let's get to this.
Go for it.
In the SEC, it'd be Texas making it, Georgia making it, Tennessee
You've
making it.
already lost with Texas leading it, but
yeah, Texas, Georgia, Tennessee, Alabama, LSU, South Carolina, Texas A&M. What does Texas A&M have to like? What do they have to be in the playoffs for? Going 5-3 in conference
because they're good.
No, they're not.
Yeah, they are. They make money. They're in the top 25.
They make money. There you go. They make money.
They're in the top 25. Their players would get their feelings hurt. They need to be in there.
7. They had 7 from one conference is utterly absurd.
They had Johnny Manziel all those years ago.
5 in the Big 12 and 5 in the ACC. The 5 in the ACC would be SMU, Clemson, Miami, Syracuse, Louisville. Really?
Yeah. Powerhouse schools.
Oh, yeah. Syracuse. They were in the Holiday Bowl. In the Big 12, Arizona State, Iowa State, BYU, Colorado, Baylor? I'm going to tell you right now. That means the Baylor-TCU game last year was for a playoff game.
Well, there you go.
TCU has zero business. TCU last year had no business being in a playoff. Absolutely zero business being in the playoff.
But it would have been nice if they were, though, wouldn't it?
No. It was the same thing with like the NCAA tournament, basketball tournament expansion, which would drastically benefit my alma mater, TCU. They probably would have been in it last year. They had no business being in the NCAA tournament. Absolutely zero. So that's what they would do. And then they would just screw over everybody else that's competing. I don't mind 24 teams. Just do it like the FCS. This is not complicated, guys. This is not complicated. You do 24 teams, right? There's 10 conferences. You let every conference champion get in. Oh yeah, they don't like that because they want to steal all the money. They want to steal all the money. There's money.
There's problems there. No, it's not. It's the lack of quality competition. There's going to be walkovers. Like, I mean, come on. Are we really going to walk over some of these teams?
Stop it. Have every conference have a bid to go.
No.
Just like the FCS. It's not hard. That's 10 of the 24 teams. You got 14 teams left. You have 3. You get 3 automatic qualifiers in the Big Ten on top of the one that they would get for the champion.
Make it 5.
No. An additional 3 for the SEC. Okay. So that's 6 of the 14 teams.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go 2 extra Big 12 teams if you really want to play the whole, we're so much better in the Big Ten, which is not the case. All right. So 2 more out of the Big 12.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that gets you to 8 teams. And then you get 2 more of the ACC, which gets you to 10 teams. And then you got 4 at large. There's your 10. There's your 14. By the way, if you're so confident, SEC and Big 10, at getting as many teams in, those extra 4 at large will probably go to your conferences anyway. And now you have yourself a 24-team tournament.
I have a question. How many of those 4 at-large teams are going to be automatic bids for Big 10 teams? Or SEC teams?
How, like, automatically or just them picking it?
How many of them are going to automatically go to Big 10? And
0.
Well, then
the at-large ones.
Then no, that we can't.
No, we can't do that because we just want it to be the Big 10 and SEC league because everything's rigged against everybody else.
Well, now when you put it like that makes it seem bad and nefarious.
That's right. Yeah. Well, but that's the case. No, we have more fans than everybody else. Therefore, we're better. I mean, you're just saying true statements here, but when you put it in such a negative light, well, that's because it is negative.
It makes it sound so nefarious and so bad.
I'm just saying.
So am I.
This is a joke.
Can we please think of the little corporation for a second, please?
Who?
Like the Big Ten, like the Big Ten and
the little guys.
Can we think of the hardworking guy, please, for a second?
Right. Let's reward teams like Virginia, who hasn't done S in eternity, but you know what? They happen to be grandfathered into the ACC, so therefore they get the benefit of being in the ACC. Let's look at teams like Duke in football.
Smashing the numbers. No, I am not playing chess with Braden right now. I am intentionally trying to make him mad.
And it's not working because everything you're saying is foolish. So, and I don't, argue with somebody that's saying stupid things.
Exactly. Corporations are people too. Like, what are we doing? Come on now.
Mike B says, "Hey, give the Pac-7 an auto bid too." You know what? All 10 conferences should be represented.
Again,
that P stands for what?
P stands for power.
Power.
It's the Power Act 12 conference.
Power Athletic Conference. That's what the P in PAC stands for. I'm just saying.
I'm so glad the chat brought that up instead of me having to bring it up. It's nice that that's catching on.
Power. Power Conference. The Power Athletic Conference, not the Pacific.
It's the Power Act 12.
It's not the Pacific 12. It is the Power Athletic Conference. Anyway, it's so simple. It's so simple. They won't do it because they're greedy, but it's so simple. I don't know why it's so difficult for the powers to be, aside from their wallets and their greed getting involved. And they're going to single-handedly ruin college football for everybody. They are going to kill the golden goose. How many times have we said that?
Mm-hmm.
And then they continue to do dumb things because they're greedy. And they don't understand that they can still make money doing what everybody else does. Everybody else does it. But it's so difficult for the power level of college football. Division I FBS football can't pull their head out of their own ass. They can't do it. It's too complicated for them. God forbid they look down one division. Where's the Mike Leach speech? I need that back on the entire playoff thing. It's right there. The FCS has 24 teams. And guess what? The little Pioneer League that's non-scholarship football, if you win the conference, you get to go to the dance. Do they ever win? No. They're non-scholarship. They get smoked by North Dakota State. But you know what? They have a chance. It would be so much better for college athletics if you just gave them a chance. Why is the NCAA tournament for basketball so great? Why is it so great? Because George Mason can make the Final Four. Because San Diego State can make the national championship. Because University of Maryland, Baltimore County can beat the number ones. That's why it's great. Why eliminate that? And if anybody starts popping off about bowl games, I'm going to lose my mind. Army in the competing to make the college football playoff is must-watch television. You know what's not? Watching mediocre Power 4 schools who just leech off of the conference they're in getting rewarded. If you dislike the fact that the Pirates don't spend any money, you would also shouldn't like the fact that Northwestern collects a check and then never performs. It's the same logic. Why should Northwestern, Maryland, and Purdue get the benefit of being grandfathered into this conference instead of letting everything happen on the field and then putting together a tournament? It's possible. I'm telling you, this is the show for football. There's other shows out there that think they could talk football like us. It's not going to happen, Frank.
No, if you want a college football talk show, if you want a soccer talk show, right here. Here is where you go. 10 to 2 every day.
NFL, college football. Oh, and by the way, and most of our show is going to still be Padres baseball.
Yep.
You're talking to two college football sickos. Frank agrees with me. He's just being...
I'm playing the other side.
He's just being a you-know-what. He's doing this on purpose.
Yes.
Probably because all the comments about him showing off his legs. But you know what? That's neither here nor there. He's doing this on purpose. He agrees with me. I know he does. I can see in his face because he's doing a very poor job of trying to play devil's advocate.
I was not trying to play devil's advocate. If you saw me try to play devil's advocate, you would know.
Frank couldn't even do it with a straight face.
That was me being as sarcastic as I possibly could.
So on board with what I had to say, he was like, he was stewing trying to say the other things. Stewing.
Think of the little corporation. That one almost got me to throw up.
Oh my God. That probably gave you chills. All right, hopefully the Padres beat the Giants tonight, huh? That'd be nice. I think they will. Okay, for Frank Marchese, I'm Braden Surprenant. Gwen and Chris coming up next. This has been the Braden Surprenant Show. We'll talk to you tomorrow.